Welcome,
Hello.
welcome back. Okay, let me move these two sisters. Shout out to Cameshia because she gave us these little these two sisters right here. You know what I'm saying? But welcome. We didn't go live yesterday because we knew we were gonna go live today. Hold up, wait a minute. What am I doing?
No, what?
Bear with me, you guys. I'm losing it. Okay, so we didn't go live yesterday because we knew we were going to go live today. So welcome. We are going to be watching along the part 2 of the reunion for Ready to Love. Now, I would like to make a statement before we start and say that we talk during the show. So
Yes.
we will not be
Disclaimer.
offended. If you can't if it's something that bothers you, definitely you know come
You
back
gonna have to
later
pause or something,
because
or I don't know.
we
We're
are going
we're
to be
not gonna
talking.
talk right during the show. And I
anyway,
mean,
anyway, how have you been? How was your week? So, okay,
ah,
look, ask you a question and then I start talking. But no, I was just gonna say we're just finishing up watching the last episode. We already watched it, but it's on right now, so we were just watching that. But how have you been? How was your week?
so we didn't film last week because I was so sick. So like James, whatever James had, my husband, he had like a really bad cough and all this stuff. He gave it to me that Wednesday night. And that Thursday, I was down for the count. I thought I was going to be able to like get through the day and do all this stuff. I was in the bed. Like my boss had to tell me because I was on, virtual. I was working from home, and he was like, what do we need to do to get you off the computer?" And I was like, not much, because I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. So it was good that I got the chance to rest up. And now that I'm 40, it took me a good few days, almost a week to recover, but I'm
Oh my
back.
God, you're 40?
I'm
Jeez, how old am I
40.
then? Jesus, don't make
Oh
me
my
feel
gosh, I'm 40, and I mean it's a good 40. It's a young 40, so I feel good about myself. But I definitely was like, okay, this isn't one of those like 2-day things. Like I felt much better after Friday. Like Saturday, Sunday was a better day for me, but I know that Thursday I could not do nothing. Like I had a headache, like my body was sore. I was around here like groaning. It's so funny how like that feels good for some reason. And I was so irritated with James walking around here like whining and when I'm so sick. And I was like,
both of
shut.
y'all was sick at the same
And
time.
then I literally was like 2 days behind him. So because he got sick
Damn.
on like Tuesday. So like Wednesday night, I started to feel that thing in my chest, and then Thursday it was curtains. But it was funny because on Thursday and Friday I was like all about the whining. I was like, oh, I just want to lay down.
And was he
But it
feeling
felt
better at
good.
that point?
What's that?
Did he start feeling better before you?
He did. He was like a day ahead of me with feeling better. But then, all right, it's so funny because it got me really. I don't know why something came over me towards me getting like when I was getting better around like Sunday, I just started being like, I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm about to start weight training. I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. I didn't do any on Sunday, but I started to get my plans together. I got me a medicine ball. I got it sent from Amazon. Like I was just like doing all of these things because I was like, yo,
Hey,
I'm gonna
Tata.
take better care of myself. Hey Tata. I'm gonna take better care of myself. You ain't gonna be able to keep me out the gym. I'm about to just because I was thinking to myself, like, not that I wouldn't have gotten sick, but I was just thinking about how I don't do the best job of just taking care of my physical body and how, like I said, not that I wouldn't got sick because people get sick, but I just felt like I could do better.
When you
So
get sick, it makes you think about how like much you haven't taken care of yourself. Even even
yes.
even though you will get sick anyway. Like as a healthy person, you still get colds and stuff like that. But when you get sick and like you just be like, man, you know what I'm saying?
And I literally was like on Sunday, I was like, I don't even want to put anything in my body that's not healing me. Like I was, when you're sick, you're not really hungry. So I wasn't like craving the junk and stuff that I would typically crave. And like literally, even when I started to feel better, I was like, no, I just want water or I want orange juice or I might crack open a ginger ale, but like that's about it. Like I didn't want nothing. I didn't want no wine. I didn't want no soda other than ginger ale. I was literally like, if it's not water and it's not orange juice, what's the point? And even like food, I was like, I'm everything that I was so hyper aware of the idea that like anything that I put in my mouth is going to go in there and do a job, right? And it's like, either it's going to be helping me or it's going to be down there like, Annie up. And I was like,
okay, let me ask you a question.
So when
could you taste and all of that?
So I could, to a certain extent, like, so I went through the whole realm of symptoms. As I sit here and say this, I went through the whole realm of symptoms. Like the first symptom I had, thank you very much. So James is giving me something that's bad for me, but I'm about to.
Well, no, not good job, but it's something bad.
I'm about to drink it. What'd you say?
I said, good job, bro. And then I heard you say something bad. I mean, something bad. And I was like, well, no, I didn't mean.
You know what's funny? He took really good care of me when I was sick. And I was laughing because I was like, damn, did I take good care of you? Because I just remember being irritated, like, oh, he's sick and he's groany. And then when I got sick and I got groany, I was like, oh, good, here he comes with my soup. And I was like, oh, thank God. But I was like, dang, did I take care of you? And he was like, yeah, you made me get up and shower and drink ginger ale and water and you made me soup. I was like, yeah, I did do that. I was like, all right, because I was like, dang, I would hate to like be taking all of these good, but he was like a day ahead of me. So like, it was good because like I got to take care of him when he was in his worst state. Mm-hmm. And then he took care of me when I was in my worst state. And then it was like, I could see how better I was going to be by watching him.
That's
I was like, okay, I'm day 2. He's day 4. So if he's feeling better, then I'll feel better on day 4. So that's kind of like how it worked out too. It was like,
damn, well, I'm glad y'all feel
he
better,
led us through the sickness. But like, I was literally like, okay, if I'm not gonna feel better by taking this thing into my body, then I don't want it. And I was like thinking about that with everything, like foods, drinks.
You should. Listen, let me tell you what I started doing. It's because of your father. Because I remember when I was little, I think I was like 9 years old, and we were in North Carolina at grandma's house, and I had a cold. And I just remember sitting on one of them step stools, and he had cut up these onions and put honey in it, and he was making me eat it. And I was like, this is child abuse.
I used to think that when he used to make us eat that.
But what I do now is funny because when I get sick, I do just like you. I'll be thinking about all the unhealthy shit I ate before leading up to this. And, I'm saying where I could have possibly contracted it, whatever, like the cold or whatever. And so I do a lot of salads. And in the salads, a lot of times it's stuff that I put more than I would put regularly, but I cut up a lot of green peppers and red peppers because those have vitamin C, onions and garlic and stuff like that. If I can't taste, I might as well just eat something.
Might as well.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And teas. So when Earl came home sick, I was like, oh, he's not going to be able to come out and do shit. So he got to eat whatever I give him.
Yeah.
He does anyway, but I made sure that he had stuff like that. Like he had some cold medicine or whatever, but I was giving him like, a lot of like greens and stuff that had like, onions and garlic and stuff in it or whatever that he could. And I gave him a racket. He must have went through all of my tea because I made him a bunch of teas. But
I had some tea too. It was so good. And it made me wonder, like, why don't I drink tea on the regular? Like, because I couldn't drink coffee and I wanted something, something in the morning to like, get me out of bed and like get me started on my way type of thing. And I have a very vast selection of teas. I'm so proud. I probably have like 15 different teas in there that I've just been collecting. Like, oh, this is a good one. Like when I was so I realized I'm kind of like, I'm an organized hoarder. And I'll get into something.
I agree with that. It's not
like,
even, you have a lot of stuff, but it's not messy. It's just like, she has all of these boxes of index cards. Oh, she has like all of these boxes of pens.
Yeah. And they're all like together. Like they could be inventoried. I mean, like not everything is together.
I definitely
but I know where to find it.
A couple of things while I was there when y'all were out of time.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So I need this. I literally was at one point collecting teas last year and here's why. And this is why I call myself an organized hoarder. Because once I like started getting into a couple of them, I was like, I like this one like turmeric peach tea, and then I like this other lemongrass tea with like something, and then I found this eucalyptus tea. So at that point, I had like maybe 5 or 6 teas, and I was like, I might as well just run the whole gamut and like get a lemon tea and a this tea and a green tea and a turmeric tea. So like I just started because then I got this little box. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
you are so your mother right now. So you're your mother right now.
I just got a bunch of different ones, and I would just pull like 3 of them out. So then, like when people will come over, or whatever, I'll be like, "This is my mother." I'd be like, "Would you like some coffee or some tea or some orange juice or some water or some whatever, some wine?" It's just like I just want to be able to list a bunch of beverages. But like last time, James's mom came over, and she's like, "Yeah, I'd like some tea." I was like, "Oh." I was like, of course. I pulled that tea box out. I felt so good about myself. I was like, here, make your choice from this vast selection.
Oh my God.
Like, this is why I did it.
So look, I feel you on the teas because when I was playing kickball, I got into there was a girl on the team because mommy was into those loose teas. And so there was a girl on the team that gave me some gunpowder green tea. Mm-hmm. So it's strong green tea, right? But now I'm into like loose teas or the teas that have like the satchels and not the square tea bags or whatever. But Starbucks makes, whenever I get sick or get a cold, Starbucks makes something called a medicine ball.
I heard about this. Tell me about this.
But so basically what's in it is there's honey in it, there's lemonade, and there's a peach tea, and then there's a jade green tea that they mix. So they actually sell those teas in like Harris Teeter and I think Wegmans, whoever sells
Tazo or something like that. Tazo.
What is it? Nah, it's I can't remember what the name of it is, but like I'll get it in a minute. I'll get it in a minute because now I have to figure this out. But basically, I went and I bought it. I bought those 2 teas to mix them because I like mixing teas also. So like I had like a eucalyptus one, and I had a eucalyptus elderberry, and then I had like a green tea. Like in the morning, I'll do things that like cleanse, right? And at night, I'll do something with some chamomile and some lavender or something like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had really got into that, but I want to go find some more loose teas. But I'm gonna go get this tea because I really want to figure out which one it is.
I was just looking up a recipe for what is a homemade medicine ball. So basically, it's here's what is the benefits of it is that it has a bunch of vitamins in it. It has like vitamins A, C, E, K. I don't even know what vitamin K is, and B. And then it has, gonna mess this one up, epigallocatechin gallate, the largest compounds in green tea. It's been studied to help prevent cell damage.
You are funny as shit right now.
But it has a bag of mint green tea, a bag of peach tea, 4 ounces of simply lemonade, 6 ounces of water, and honey to taste. That is what is in a Starbucks-like medicine tea ball if you made it at home.
So yeah, the tea that they use is Tivana, and this is one of them, the Jade Citrus Mint, and the other one is like peach ginger or something, but I must have used all of that because I can't find that one. So, but I ran through like most of my tea when he came home sick because I was like, he needs to be hydrated, he needs to be, eating good or whatever. So anyway,
and that's really what it is, because it's like when you get sick, you're thinking, oh, I need to get better. I need to get well. And so you're doing all the things that you know how to do in order to take care of yourself. And I'm like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? So that's what stuck out to me. I was like, I don't even do this.
Well, when I used to when I was still drinking, right, that's the reason why I didn't drink a lot of tea, because I was like drinking something else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I drink a lot. Like I drink water all day. So I've recently I kind of fell off a little bit because I realized yesterday because I had to go. Today's Friday. So I went back to the gym this week because while he was sick, I couldn't go to the gym. I was doing the Zoom exercises or whatever. And I was doing those. I mean, I could Zoom into the class, which means I have to be actually here at the time that they're doing the class. And so I did that twice. And it was cool because I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I can still get my workout in. But then when my time started messing up. I couldn't make the Zoom because I was doing something else, and it was like, you know, stuff going on here or whatever. And I was like, well, I can't Zoom in now. You know what I'm saying? So I went back to the gym on this week, like, man. But because I was doing my own workouts, it wasn't as bad as if I would have just completely not worked out or whatever. But they definitely welcomed me back in with the ass kicking of workouts.
That's awesome. I'm ready, yo. I mean, like, I literally was thinking to myself this whole time I was sick, like, I just was thinking about, like, what I'm about to do. And I'm about to just be committed. Like, I am committed already. I've already gotten, I was like to say, like, I have a set routine, but I have a few routines that I'm about to just start doing. So I'm excited. But anyway, all right. So wait, did I ask you how was your week?
My week was good. It was very productive because of the things that I'm working on. I've been making so much progress, and like it's just amazing to see. Like I always say, like you can plan all day, but until you start doing whatever it is that you want to do, you're not even going to get some ideas until you get on the road to start the process or whatever. And that's like with working out. That's with, you know, everything or whatever. So my week was good because I had some breakthroughs about myself. I had some unrecognized talents that I didn't even realize I had. And I was able to do a bunch of things at work. Work was crazy. And you know, Earl had his things going on or whatever, and then you know his birthday's coming up on Monday, so I'm trying to plan whatever's for that. And then he was like, "Oh, apparently they were practicing today, band practice. They had to wear their costumes or whatever. They're having a costume contest, and so the drum line is gonna dress up like Secret Service. And so now you know that I'm the queen of a DIY costume. Like all you gotta figure out is the 2 or 3 key elements that this character that you it has, and make those things come to fruition. You remember when he went as Wolverine, right?
Yes, it looks so real.
Well, this started with Colin Kaepernick. He was in 9th grade, and he was like, "Oh, I want to go to school and be, you know." So I'm like, "Okay, what could he do that he could wear all day or whatever?" So I'm like, "Okay, we'll just get him an afro wig. I'll use some makeup and put on like a little 5 o'clock shadow beard. He can walk around with the football." He did that. That was cool. So then when he got to like the 10th grade, he was like, "Okay, he had, you know, the drum line. They were all dressing up as characters, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna be Wolverine." So because he had like the sideburns, and so they was like, Wolverine. So I also brought out the makeup and kind of filled it in. I looked at the picture of the Wolverine, and he had like this thing on his forehead, the lines on his forehead, and like Earl's hair was already like in a high top phase. So I just parted that jump to be like the Wolverine. And outfit down or whatever. So I rocked that. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna send me a text talking about, "Hey mom, we got to dress up like Secret Service, and we got to wear A, B, C, C, and D. You think you can help me out?" I was like, "Of course I can."
Yes.
I was like, "You already have everything. You got the black suit, you got a white shirt, you got a black tie, you got some black shoes. All you need is the glasses and the earpiece. They're there."
Yeah, glasses and the earpiece. That's it.
I haven't seen the picture yet because I want to see all of them together because I know they probably gonna look sharp. But yeah. So anyway, so my week was good. Everything is looking better than I planned it out to be. So I'm happy. I'm excited. You know. Oh yeah, and then I joined Match.com again. So I'll have some more dating stories here soon because
I can't wait to hear those because you've already let me in on a couple of details, and I'm all the way in. Like I'm obviously not on the market, but I'm just so curious to be like, "Oh, let's do this." Like I want to start doing Zooms with you. It's like you can't do that, lady.
Hey, I'm gonna have the stories.
I'm so down.
Real people, it's some weird people out here. So we'll see what happens, but you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be close-minded. So, but I did have an announcement, because not even an announcement. Everybody should, well, not everybody, but people with YouTube channels should know if they care about this type of thing. But recently, YouTube has given me a community wall.
Wow.
So at first you needed 1,000 subscribers to get a community wall, and then they changed it to 500. And so I was looking at somebody's video yesterday, and they were like, they saw somebody with a channel that had like 100 subscribers, and they had a community wall. And I said, well, I got more than 100 subscribers. Where's my community wall? And I went, and there it was. So I'm excited about that. because I feel like the reason why I'm excited about it is because if you have something to share, it could be valuable whether you have 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers or
Yep.
a million subscribers. I can understand them having guidelines for everything else, but you should let everybody share everybody. Like, what if I just want to share somebody's video? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm glad they did that. But anyway,
they're making a lot of different changes that I think are bomb. And I just actually took this course by Sean Cannell, the YouTube Secrets guy, Think Media. And I mean, I didn't take the course, but I did the challenge or whatever. And there's a course after that's like more in depth, but I'm not buying that right now. But I'm gonna try everything that they suggested. And I mean, it's all stuff that like, you know, you would have eventually figured out after a few years, but it's great when people do this and they kind of give back to the community. Like, I'm just going to tell you what I know, right? Like, here's how you do it. And so I got a lot out of that. And I'm going to share it with you too, because I only recorded like 3 episodes.
I like watching his videos because
he's
I think
so funny.
I think they have a good team. And the funny thing is his name is Sean Bradley. There's a Sean Bradley on YouTube that I watched, so I thought it was funny that the white guy's name was Sean Bradley. I was like, that's not the Sean Bradley I know.
It's so funny how many things that I have in common with him. I mean, like, not that we worked in the same places, but he used to work at like Red Robin and like Applebee's and stuff like that. It's so
Isn't
funny.
It crazy though?
Because I can so see him.
Listen though, but I gotta interject this because it's a lot of people who have a server background that are
killing it in the entrepreneur space. That you know what it is. I'm gonna just go ahead and make this this correlation. When you're good at like service industry, hospitality stuff, like you understand people. Like you understand their needs and their wants, and you like can have a conversation with pretty much anybody. So it makes sense it's a short jump. It's a parallel situation where you're like talking to people on social media because it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of y'all. Like I know how to serve y'all. I know how to hold conversations with you.
Right.
I know what you probably like. Like I'm just gonna tell you like this, and you know you get in that sort of industry and you have like a good personality and people just want to listen to you. So I think that it's. It makes sense. Oh, speaking of which, I was just watching real talk. I was just watching the most recent episode of Social Proof about consistency. Man, you know how when you feel like they're talking to you, they were talking directly to me. At one point, Donnie was making this point. And what she said wasn't really talking to me because I have been implementing the stuff that they said. Both of us have actually. But what's funny is she at one point in the video she was like, "I'm talking to you watching," and I was like, "Oh, me." Most of the they were talking directly to me because they had like 10 things, and like probably at least 6 of them were like, "Yeah, I really need to hear that." But like I was glad to say that like I haven't just been watching this whole time. I mean, I've been watching it for about 1.5 years. I haven't been just watching this whole time and not implementing nothing.
Well, I felt like they were talking to me too because first of all, I want to say this. I thought these shoes were really cute.
You saw the episode.
Hell yeah, I saw the episode.
I know that's right.
That's on my thing. Like I frequently look for their stuff or whatever because they drop gems and you never know who they're going to be talking to. So she had on these Gucci tennis shoes.
Those are so cute.
And I'm not even into Gucci, but I was like, I'll rock those. And they got them in a couple of different colors or whatever. But I was like, I'll rock those. But I feel you. She was talking to me too. And I'm really trying hard not to be. Well, I've been doing more stuff now, but I've been really trying hard not to be one of those people who be like a serial consumer of like just people's content. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just sit there and watch somebody's content or other people's content all day and not create your own. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I've been trying to be cognizant of or whatever too. There's one thing, you got to look at other people's stuff, sometimes to, when you look something up or you might want to get inspiration or whatever, but you can't just constantly consume other people's content and not put anything to work or whatever. So like, and like the other thing that I want to say to piggyback on that is that once you start, so many things open up. Like, I can't even really talk about it right now, but one day I will tell the story, but I'll tell you, after we get off, whatever. But, You know, it's just like sometimes you just get so stuck on just going through your regular routine of what you've been told that you're supposed to do. And so, you know, you don't ever think to veer off of that path and do something different because you're like, oh, well, I'm supposed to just go to school. I'm supposed to go to get a job. I'm
Oh
supposed
my
to go do this. I'm
God.
supposed to go do that. And you don't even know what you could do. You know what I mean?
Get
And
out of my head.
I just shared a video that my last video, if y'all not following Relationship Entertainment Television, the link is in the description, as well as Faith's description. Faith's link is in the description, but follow Relationship Entertainment Television. My show on that network is What's Going On. So it comes on Wednesdays at 3 p.m., but of course it's YouTube, so the video is not going anywhere. But on my last episode, I share Black entrepreneurs every week. There's a Black entrepreneur highlight where I pick one, but all throughout each of the videos, I'm talking about entrepreneurs the whole time, whether it's a celebrity entrepreneur or whatever. So there's a bunch of entrepreneurs over there. And every time I look at the celebrity entrepreneurs in general, like specifically the celebrity entrepreneurs that have started businesses, that have like created sneakers or whatever, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, I could have done that. Or
yeah,
this product is better than that. Like, I don't say that, obviously, but my point is, what's stopping us, regular people, from coming up with an idea and seeing what the idea does? But I think fear pushes us back to be like, oh, well, no, this person's already doing this, or this person's already doing that, but they don't have your sauce. They don't have your product. Right. They don't have your, commentary or whatever. So once you start looking at it differently, man, the thoughts are just endless. Like, it's just ridiculous. But anyway.
No, that's good. I want to piggyback off of that fear thing, because I feel like we all, it's something that we all experience, right? But it's just we do something different with it individually. So I would love for fears to become a jumping off point of, like, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago about, like, well, if you're thinking this might not work, like the question is should ask right after that is, but what if it does? What would that look like? And start from there. Like, a lot of times fear can be useful if you use it properly and say, oh, what's the worst thing that can happen? Let me think about the worst thing that could happen, and then flip it. Or even say, like, well, I don't know if I can make this work, and here's why. And then if you eliminate all of those reasons, if you address all of those reasons, like, say I wanted to be a gymnast, right? Okay, because I don't. But let's say my 40-year-old self just decided that I really just want to go and see what's up with this gymnast thing. If I were to say, well, it's probably not a good idea, I would make myself list like 20 reasons, or however many reasons I can come up with on why I don't think it would be a good idea. And then I would just make it my business to prove myself wrong. Like, oh, well, this, that, right? Well, let's see if I'm right about them. You know what I mean?
That's funny, because I do the exact opposite. If I have the thought of this is not going to work, I'll be like, yes, it can. You know what I'm saying? And not the exact opposite, but you think through the whole thing. I don't let myself even get to the point of being like, well, why won't it work? I'll be like, why? I'll be like,
why shouldn't it work? Of course it's going to work.
Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And I just think back. On all of the tough situations that we've been in, from like Miss Myrtle to, like, the apartment in Alexandria, to, like, fucked up roommates, too, you know what I'm saying? To all the things that we faced, it was like, damn, this situation is so crazy. How do I come out winning, right? Yeah. Not even like winning, like ha ha, but just like, how do I come out for this situation to benefit me? And hey, goody. And so, that makes me think, like, this is nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh!
Because when you're facing a problem right now, you think it's the end of the world. Like, oh my God, but look back on all the shit that you actually did. And when you do that, especially when you're trying to stop doing something, you stop doing a lot of shit. So when you start thinking like that, instead of thinking, well, why won't it work or whatever? Like, I don't even focus on why won't it work. The shit always works out is my statement, and that's how I always.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true, and it just gives you a jumping off point for those people who can't get over your negative thoughts or can't get past them. That's what I would do. I would just lean into them and then solve them. But it's great when you can have an opportunity. And I feel like that's the goal, is to get to where you are, to be able to say like, oh, I just skip past all that and start thinking about how it is going to work. Right.
I mean, think about it like this. If you and I are walking down the street, right, and you're like, oh, yeah, I think I want to get sushi, or I think I want to go to the movies, or you want to do whatever. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, well, maybe we can do this and maybe we can do that. And somebody starts running. Are you going to wait and be like, I'm so scared of running?
No, I'm out.
You're going to run. So that's the way that I look at what you said, jumping over it. If it's something that I know that I can't get around, that I have to do, it's a hard task or it's a heavy lift, I just be like, I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that bitch. Like Mel Robbins said.
Start running.
Shout
out to Mel Robbins.
Because, you don't even realize how you planted a seed in me last year. You understand what I'm saying? And like, it's something that I keep repeating, because if you start and you create whatever it is you're going to create, and it could be whatever, it could be your new job, it could be your new hobby, it could be whatever, you're going to have shit in the beginning, right? It might be first day on the job, you don't know anything, but you're going to keep getting better as you do it. So like, people don't think about that when they're like, oh, I want to start a business. They just think, okay, I want to start a business and it has to be perfect. And that road is never going to present itself. So like, if you don't think about it, if you think about it like that, you're not going to start. But if you think about it in the sense of, well, shit, let me just see what I can do right now at this level right now. Yep. Because that's going to trigger you to learn a new skill, to, network with these people, maybe collaborate with this person, or go to an event that you haven't been to. But anyway, this show is not about that today, guys. Sorry for all the
Please put Goody's comment on there about it will all be okay in the end, because that is so true. It will all be okay in the end. And if it isn't okay, then it isn't the end. Facts.
I want to put that on a fucking t-shirt.
I'm just saying. I know that's a quote, that's a bomb quote. Like that's what's up. I appreciate that, because we can all, we all have our moments. Me especially. I could just get stuck. I could just get stuck right in the beginning. And one of the things that I'll do notoriously is I'll think of all these problems that I don't even I may never come across, but like, certainly not like now, right? Like you thinking to yourself, like, I'm going to start selling lip glosses. And then you start thinking like, well, what if so many people order lip gloss that the site crashes? It's like, you don't have to worry about that right now.
We'll deal with that when we get to it.
Right. You just need to get the lip gloss up for sale, right? So it's like,
because honestly, I bet you if you talk to half of the entrepreneurs, not even half, if you talk to most of the entrepreneurs that are out here successfully doing business, they probably got hella stories about how they spent all their money and this happened, or somebody, something happened and they had to pay this, or they had a problem. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And they were able, it just causes you to think outside of the box. You know what I mean?
So okay, back to what you were saying. That's not why we're
Goody got some she got some little things today that I might put on a t-shirt. Procrastination
through perfection.
Through perfection.
That's funny. Okay. So all right.
Listen. Sorry.
Go ahead.
We got 5 minutes into the show. So
let me just recap. I want to recap back through last show.
Yeah, you give us a recap.
So basically, you guys are probably watching right now, but they came out. They didn't come out hot, but like they came out and jumped right in. Jamala and Randall are already going through relationship issues, which is odd to me because it doesn't really seem like they're in a real relationship. I also watched something last week where Randall was like, the way they filmed it, all his stuff actually came out first. So it was interesting that they saved it until the second part of the reunion, but it's probably because it's really juicy and it's like you couldn't start off like that, because I feel like there's a lot there, right? Like I just feel like there's a lot there. One thing that I thought was interesting was when Mike and Kayla had an exchange with Brandy sitting right there, and Mike ended up admitting in so many words that like, oh, I didn't think I could go after Kayla because I didn't think I could keep her. So he said something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was basically like, you know, she would have been work or something like that. Like he would have had he would have had to worry about her going to find somebody else. He said something to the effect of like,
said that.
He was like, oh, I would have, you know, she's like me. She can have who she wants.
He was intimidated by her. Yes.
And so I thought that was weird to say that in front of your girlfriend, because what is she thinking? Like, oh, you knew that I was just going to be here? Like that's odd to me, but she didn't say anything. So obviously he knows what he's dealing with, because that would have been a whole conversation when we got home. She said she really hated this season, but the reunion is lit. Yeah, she has as many options as I do. Like, what the hell does that mean? So that means Brandy doesn't have as many options. Well, she did say she hadn't been in a relationship.
But I felt like that was like slighting her. Like,
it definitely was.
He didn't have to say that, but that was real. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, look, at least he told the truth.
He told the truth. You gotta respect that part. You ain't gotta like it, but you know what I'm saying?
I also thought it was odd that, and we're going to see more of this with Randall and Jamala on this episode, but when somebody makes a comment about the person you're dating someone else, like, I know you got to like save face and everything, but it's like, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? So Dominica, who got voted off like right in the beginning, came and said something about Mike dating her friend who sells strawberries or something like that. And Mike was like, I don't know who she's talking about, but I didn't believe him. And you can tell Brandy was kind of like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like from him making the comment that he could keep her, that she would stay around, or whatever he said about Brandy, I just felt like he thinks he could get away with stuff, and it made me think that this is one of those reaches. I'm going to say this. It made me think that she probably knew who he was talking about, like as if he had brought her around, like the strawberry lady. I've met her before, and it's like it would be so fitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that's what he did.
I don't put, like you said about the lady that's sleeping Dookie slices, I don't put nothing past Mike ass, because you seen his Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
I know. And have that Instagram up. You can't do that, homie.
The thing about it is, okay, I feel like this. I feel like Kayla, you know, she's been through the whole Jack and Jill thing. She's prim and proper. She knows how to be a classy lady, right? But she also she went to Howard, so she probably got a taste of, you know, Black culture in that environment and ran with it, meaning she researched a lot of stuff. She read a lot of books. She talked to a lot of people. She has a large social scene, right? And then you got Mike, and then you got Brandy, who hasn't had the same social scene that Kayla has. You know what I mean? And I feel like he was intimidated by her. I feel like Kayla wanted to see what that Mike was about, right? I'm just gonna say it like that, what Mike was about. And Brandy was just smitten with Mike, and she had blind loyalty to me. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't listening or watching. Men tell you a lot of stuff sometimes while they're talking and what they're doing. And sometimes they look at it like, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm not going to explain it to you. And I feel like that's kind of what happened. Endure this. Like, Kayla probably knew exactly what kind of guy Mike was, because she probably encountered a lot of Mikes before. But Brandy has not, right?
And she was like, you're not getting ready to put me up on that bullshit.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, so it's about to start. I don't know where
it's
you are.
It's about to start. Well, the Zoe Swayze beef, that was weird. LJ dating the entire cast. The Zoe and Sharice moment. And Shakira and Katie, and where Sharice stood up for Katie, and that was odd too. But I'll talk about all those things probably during commercials. But we can go ahead and get started. I know it's about to start.
They got the credits rolling for the last one. So basically, guys, we're just gonna sit here and watch the show. We're gonna comment throughout the show. As you can see, I have a disclaimer at the bottom that says we will be talking during the show, because if you're not new over here, you know that's how we do. Get in the comments, engage. So they're starting now. So I'm gonna be watching it, and then she's gonna be on mute, but then we'll definitely talk during commercials. But I can't believe that Tommy doesn't know what's going on.
You know, there was a deeper, raw realness that I feel like we had between us. How do you feel about understand my personality. That's on you too.
Really, your personality is fake as You allowed. I gotta go. The show does not make me. I'm allowed to. I run a $35 million portfolio.
And you just said in my ear about wanting to be friends and baby, I love you. I think you're amazing.
That's weird.
She looks like Evelyn Lozada right there to me.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Motown investor.
I'm gonna just put my thoughts in the comments. I do not think she looks like Evelyn Lozada. I mean, I get
favors
it.
her. She could be her cousin or something. You know what I'm saying?
This was weird. I thought they were really gonna fight.
Look how they all looking.
They look uncomfortable. Because once somebody pops off on your show and starts fighting, you're all in it. Like now you're known for you're on the show where the people fight.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fight next season, I'm guessing. I don't want it to be, but like the way they playing all this stuff and letting the stuff happen.
I want to say this, and I apologize for always getting out of character. What I hate is the concept. It was like when the clip finished, Eric, she's like sister, but she muffled that, and it's just like how 1 minute you're saying sister, and the next minute you're like, I said what I said. So
it's too childish.
Yeah.
Listen, Goody. I believe I agree with this. You see what Goody said?
Really need her ass beat. Who? Which one?
Probably Kadian. I'm guessing Kadian. Unless she's talking about Sharice. Goody, which one was you talking about?
Why can't we be good? Why is it always black women arguing? Like fighting? So cities don't stand a chance. I am trying over again. Every time
Jamala's face.
Let you back in, you let me like Big Bird. You said you were
Big Bird.
Why is she so emotional?
She called her Big Bird.
I will say this. We are all adults here. All right? We all trying to find love, but I want us to find some peace. Whether we find peace here, whether we find it off the camera, I don't care. But let's find it. Let's at least walk away saying we are.
Yeah, that's a good point. Positive.
Get it in the right direction. And let's set an example for everybody that's watching us. Can we at least agree to do that?
Yeah. That should have already been a thing, but I get how it can get heated.
Justice.
What?
That should have already been a thing, like the respect level, but I can understand how it can get heated, you know what I'm saying, on set, and like things can just get out of hand. I don't know why Kayla got so emotional. I just thought that was a little bit odd, especially Jamala like rolling her eyes like that, because I felt a little bit like Jamala, but Jamala's face was wild when she rolled her eyes. But
she rolled her eyes like somebody like what's the lady's name? Sheesh. New York.
Oh wait, what about New York? Because she was.
No, I said she rolled her eyes like New York.
Oh my God, New York was so funny. I was actually just watching a clip like a few weeks ago, was going through online or whatever about how all of them hated her and she loved it. She came out on stage like, all you bitches hate me and I love it. And I was like, wow, they do.
She did, yeah.
Angry. But anyway.
See, but the thing is, when they film this reunion, it's like halfway through the season almost. And a lot of shit hasn't been said, and sometimes they haven't seen each other. And then who knows, like who's broken up and all these things.
Yeah.
And somebody goes home, don't mean they can't talk to a person that's still there. Like, you know, if I get cut and I'm talking to Swayze, if I still want to talk to him, I got his phone number or whatever, you know. Whoever it is. But
like LJ dating the whole damn cast, and I remember thinking to myself, like, he got voted off, but it didn't matter. He was like, oh, I got all their
was
numbers.
Definitely getting everybodying number. You know what I'm saying?
Like, is this just a a portion, like a percentage of who he's dating, or did he really just come in there and rack up like, oh, I'm dating half the cast?
But think about it. Even though they were in the process, like I don't know whether they weren't supposed to be dating other people outside, but like I couldn't see a person stopping what they're doing outside just to do the show realistically, because they're not always there. You know what I'm saying? So I bet you a lot of them were dating a lot of people.
Yeah. LJ doesn't seem like he's lit, but apparently he is, because everybody's on that.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling
I was like shocked.
He seems like a nice guy. Like if I worked with him, I always be like, "Oh, LJ, so nice. Good morning, LJ. How you doing?"
Yeah,
LJ?
but I wouldn't be like in line, and it's not even like he's a nice guy, and you're like, "Oh, he maybe is a settle down type." It's like he's openly dating all these people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm Monday and I'm Tuesday." I'm like, "What the hell?" Like Charisse was signed up for that. It doesn't seem like Charisse is that type of person to me. It seemed like she's really territorial. So I mean,
she was not feeling LJ,
but she said she was dating him.
But she was not feeling him like that.
She said she's dating him off the show. She's one of the ones. It's one of his lineup. He's
the
dating.
only thing that bothers me about it is the way that they edit this. I don't know whether they were being facetious, whether they were being serious, because I just can't hear her saying it.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand what the get would be for saying that you're dating somebody, because it actually, I mean, it looks silly, but it's like, why would you admit to that? Like, you're dating someone who's dating 3 other people sitting right next to you. Like, why is that? What?
Wait, though, in the last episode, did Looney have different hair? Am I watching?
She had braids on the show.
No, like in the last episode that we just watched, she didn't just have like a red bob or something. Maybe I was tripping.
No, that was probably Dominica.
Oh, Dominica. Oh, okay, yeah, that was Dominica. Okay, that's who I was talking about too.
Well, see, the thing is, you put it in a box. You get tired.
Oh my gosh, Justice.
I'm answering you. Okay, can I answer? Go ahead. You want to answer for me?
No, go ahead.
Oh my God, I can't. Justice,
female weight.
Nah, I could not talk to Justice.
He just wants to argue every little point. It's just so feminine.
They said that he's a nice guy though, but on Sabrina's channel, they was calling him a queen or whatever. But
I mean, it's not even like dainty. It's just catty. You know what I'm saying? Like when he had his whole weird thing with Katie, and then he was like, "Can I have a hug?" I was like, "Why though?"
Because he liked Katie. Some
that
dudes
was so
like
toxic to be in that moment.
Some dudes like that shit. Like their interaction, he liked her. That's why he asked her for that hug. Then when she was about to get up, he was like, "Okay, baby." He liked her. Some men like that.
That's toxic, I think.
But he thinks the problem with Justice is that Justice thinks he like that, and he's cute. But like when you start acting too arrogant, it kind of takes away.
Oh, he came back.
Everything okay? Yeah, it's just like, I gotta give her space. Final question, guys. Loni's not here right now. But do you think is there a way for you all to possibly become friends and work things out from where you all are right now? If she was willing to do so, I think it's just a matter of time. I just wanted to be done so we could just do some real stuff. You know what I mean? It's not that this is not real, but it's involved in
exactly what you just said.
Not a one-on-one. Let's just focus on us and move forward. You know.
Okay, that actually did make sense.
The things that the ladies were saying, delivery, the way I come across, how I speak, I took all that into consideration. I know it when I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I think you're a good man. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I wish you nothing but good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it.
See, that's the only thing too. Like they show how arrogant he is on here, and we don't really get to know the real person. So that's why I like to watch the interviews and stuff after the shows, because they get to like. That's why I feel differently about Charisse now. Like I didn't hate her, and I don't hate anybody, but I was like, I'm not feeling her being this mean girl. But you know, as the season went on, I started to feel different. But when I saw her interview with Sabrina Soul the other day, I think it was yesterday, I really, really, really look at her differently now. Like, it's not like, oh, she's my best friend or nothing like that. But I was like, okay, I see you, Charisse. Yeah. I see you, Charisse. Like, nobody's perfect, but she actually has some she has some good qualities. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you're right. It's a show, so they're gonna play in the reality show sort of construct. leans into creating characters. So people are on here, they're dating, there's several cameras rolling, they have their real lives going on, they're learning new people, these aren't relationships, they're just filming interaction. So I get that they're creating characters behind the scenes. My issue is that once you say something, and I know that everything isn't like in context and they're creating a storyline, but like once you say something and I get a glimpse of one side of you, I just can't unsee that. And so my thing with Charisse is that I don't dislike her either. And I have seen things further on in the episodes and seeing her on interviews that I feel like, oh, maybe she is not like this cold person that I imagined she was in the beginning. But I still see traces of the person who I thought she was in the beginning. And it just kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
But listen to this though. Here's the thing.
Me.
Depending on what's going on in your life, what time I catch you or whatever, everybody probably has a different point of view. Not everybody, but like over a course of your day, right? Everybody might have got a different version of you, right? Like in the morning when I first get to work, I'm like, how you doing? Good morning, whatever, And, who knows what the day is going to bring. I mean, I'm not going to be rude, but I may be less bubbly sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And depending on who you are and the energy you're giving me, you're getting who you are.
Like, we might dip off into your office and talk shit and like tell stories and be in there cussing and stuff, right? But like, it just depends on your mood, or what you encounter. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're having conversations with people, especially when you're dating, it's so hard to kind of like get, like, you don't know each other. You're starting this conversation. It's hard. It's easy to offend somebody new. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know your personality. You don't know each other's personality. You could say the wrong thing. You could, say something with the wrong tone or
something that you didn't know about. They were touchy with. Yeah.
Just like dude that deleted me or whatever that I was telling you about earlier. He didn't.
That's so funny.
I forgot that you can't get context in text, but he didn't get the context, and so he blocked his own blessing. But that's the risk that we run. But on this show, when you're talking and you're dating, man, you can easily offend somebody, and I can see how they all kind of started out and then kind of went into self-preservation mode, like. You know what I'm saying? Like either with the women, it's like, well, this is my pick right here. And then with the men, they were kind of laying back and shying away from the women who are being more aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different elements happening.
That might not even be their personality, but that's how it kind of came off. And then add to that how Owen edited it. And now they hear the reunion based off of how the story was put together. Even though these things happen, if they didn't happen in succession like that, I can see how they could be frustrated. But
it's odd too, because it's a competition at the same time. It's like you don't want to give up. You want to find love and you don't want to look stupid on camera, but then you also don't want to get voted off. So like whatever that creates in a person is probably what's being viewed, and then to add fuel to fire, they're going to create a storyline out of you and make you a character. So I can imagine that it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Not even one. I'm still blocked, by the way. On every social.
Damn, Looney blocked him.
Except for your phone, you just might get ignored.
I'm not mad. Looney, I feel like I get Looney. I feel like she's like funny and. And she's here for the good time, but she's not with the bullshit. So she's gonna make a joke out of stuff, but she's gonna really block you.
He said, "Can we get some drinks?" And he said, "Yeah." So, well, he still might be talking about his own spot or whatever, but
I think he's really feeling her.
Yeah,
I can see that because I mean, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Samson is an anomaly.
Huh?
Samson is really weird. Like he's halfway. Like I understand what he's saying and he's speaking logic, and then half of me thinks he's like psychotic. Not gonna lie.
I didn't think he was psychotic at first.
I didn't either. Not in the beginning, but like, okay, he's not a serial killer, but just roll with me on this. Like he's good at studying people and their expectations, and then he just wants to insert expectation here. So he skips over the whole part where you actually get to know somebody, right? Like when somebody's actually getting to know you, he's just gonna quickly figure out what it is that you expect and then provide that and then pretend that that's who he is. That's what I'm getting from him now. I didn't get that from him in the beginning. I thought he was just this kind, sweet guy, and then I started to see them layers peel back.
Hey, to play this,
As I've seen him on this, like, you know, sort of like interview campaign, right?
Y'all don't know who to play this Jane is. Y'all need to go follow her channel. She gives y'all news you can use. And
hey, play this Jane.
Follow the
As I've seen him on the on like the promo tour of, like, you know, the show's off, and now he's giving all these interviews. I'm starting to see a different side of him, right? Because it's live. It's not like anybody's playing you up to be a character. You just look like a dick. Like, you look like a dick,
so that's
and
what
nobody's doing that. You're doing it. You're on Zoom.
Because I watched him before. So, okay, this is another thing. Like, they know how the show went, but they don't know how the network is going to edit it. They're watching these episodes with us, so they don't know how it's going to play out to us. You know what I'm saying? They only know how it played out for real. So I do get their frustration when people are doing commentary on it and people get stuff wrong, because no, we weren't there, but we're commenting on what we're seeing was edited that you agreed to let the network do. So, but I do get their frustration or whatever. But since they don't even know how it plays out, I can see him panicking and going around to different YouTubers and having these conversations to try to let people get to know how he was a nice guy. And I was really believing it, like, okay, this is cool. But then when I saw how he blew up and reacted to her on 3 different occasions, because it's like, okay, you act that way in the moment, but if you come back to the set to record an interview, like record your comments about the situation, you bring the same energy.
Yeah,
you meant what you said. You felt like you felt, right?
That's where the psychotic part comes in, because I felt like he was
psychotic
saying logical stuff. I felt like he was saying logical stuff, so I didn't understand why she was so upset in the blow up. But I think it was because it was almost like a setup, right? Where he just wanted to make her look really crazy, but he was egging her on. So it was odd. And then now, like, even now on set, he's just like all calm and he's playing a role.
But so him being a life coach plays a role in that, because he knows how to talk to people, right? He knows can I help you? He knows how to talk to people, right? And he knows he knows the game that he was playing. He knows what he was doing when he was saying what he was saying to her. And my point was, she wasn't telling him what the other women said to get him upset or to talk down on him. She was just trying to figure out why you talking to them and you not talking to me. But he responded with, if I would have told you what the other men said about you, then you would have been gone a long time ago. And that was unnecessary to me. It was like, you felt attacked, so you attacked her. That's how I felt.
You understand what he said?
Swayze is
and Sharice said that she was not feeling though. She never was feeling though, but she was feeling some type of way because of how he carried it.
But so that's being fake though. So I understand. So am I the only
you have
person
to
understand? So,
but okay, so you got 8 or 9 people that you got to get to know. You have to get past the pleasantries or go through some pleasantries to get to the situation. But I don't know. I'm not defending her. Let me just retract that. I'm just going to go back to, she said she didn't really like him like that. So, but he's still a dick to me. Like, I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like dudes who get like that with women. Like, you're puffing up on me and I'm not as big as you.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Like, that wasn't cool. But what he was saying,
it's even worse when a dude that you're not feeling carries you, or like tries to sun you or whatever, and you're not even feeling him, but you got carried. It's like, wait a minute, what?
I wonder, did he have any other connections when he left?
Oh, I don't even know.
Because even
he had a girlfriend the whole time. They said
even in this reunion, he had to leave because him and Swayze had some sort of like petite beef.
Petite beef. But they said he had a girlfriend the whole time.
So what would be the point of coming on here? I just
exposure, like Goody said earlier. People want to have their 15 minutes of fame, and I don't even knock that, because if you get on the show, you should be promoting whatever business that you have, right?
But I don't even know what Zoe does.
He manages a $35
$36 million portfolio, whatever he said. Yeah, great. Of what?
I don't even know why he told that lady that.
But I'm talking about the time throughout the day. Who got the time? A man doesn't have to say, I'm claiming you, when he's saying all these other things.
But the point you're missing is you didn't communicate that to the rest of your connections. How you felt about me.
In this process, if anyone, any of the men saying that, I choose you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Nobody said the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Sam, stop.
He just really wants to prove
Yes,
a point.
Sam, stop.
Let me hear you, Mike.
He really wants to prove a point. Like, he wants to come off in a certain way. I mean, like, what kind of dude? Like, what are you what are you here for? Like, I just don't understand.
I like Mike's outfit. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Oh
Mike
yeah,
is
Mike's
fine.
cool.
He's
Mike's
just a hoe probably, but Mike is fine.
You say he's a what?
He's probably a hoe, but Mike is fine.
I think he is. I don't know if he's a hoe, but he's giving hoe vibes. And I just feel like the fact that he just got out of a marriage, I didn't feel like he was ready for a relationship.
Oh, so he became exclusive with somebody he was friends with that goes to his church.
I don't get it. Like, it's surprising to me to hear you have a girlfriend. You were telling me, I wish things could have been different with us. And so to hear you have a girlfriend, that's amazing. Congratulations.
I don't believe he actually has a girlfriend.
I wish you the best.
I appreciate that. I wish you both the best.
He's been telling people that on YouTube as well. So I don't know.
I mean, who cares if he really has a girlfriend? But it's really interesting and odd that you have a serious girlfriend.
Mike is for the streets, okay?
Let me tell you.
That. But that's the kind of dude that, like I said, Kayla wanted to see what was up with Mike. That's all I'm gonna say like that. She can say whatever she wants to say, and I'm just gonna say it like this. She wanted to see what was up with Mike. I get it. A lot of other women probably get why she wanted to see what was up with Mike as well. You know what I'm saying? Mike is for the streets. But
yeah,
she said that he's really charming. She said let you be out and him walk up on you, start talking to you. I can see that. I can see that he's charming, but like his Instagram shows how charming he is.
I mean, yeah, so that's one thing. Like he and a lot of guys can say this. Listen, he might say something like, "Oh, well, that's just what I do to make money," but like that's like you shouldn't have to leave yourself behind to go and make money. So I feel like he's not.
What?
I was just saying, like a lot of guys would say, "Oh, or girls," you know what I'm saying? When you have Instagram, like Mike's Instagram, like that's just what I do to make money. Chill, babe. But it's like you shouldn't have to go step outside yourself to make money. So if that's not you on Instagram and that's not like what you believe in doing, then why is it like that? And if that is you, then why are we in a relationship when you're putting that out there for people to be having thirst box conversations with you? You know what I'm saying? And like I know he likes the attention. Like I don't know him, but he's exuding, like I could see who he is, right? So it's like he likes the attention. He's here for the streets. He is the streets. Like I feel like he's out here and they're in Miami, and I feel like he's doing the most. He just got out of a marriage, and I feel like he's like, I'm about to just see what this is about. I think that he's really out here about this life.
Okay, so she said he's lying, he's single. She was talking about Samson. And so, hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Goody said he step out his clothes for dough. I never checked. Okay, so Goody,
he looks like a stripper.
If you go to the Instagram, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what you see real quick.
It looks as if he's a male stripper.
You gonna see a print. You gonna see almost naked Mike. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You gotta think about this. Listen, people. Let me say this. When you have pictures like that on Instagram, those weren't first take photos. Okay? You gotta think about it. Okay?
I don't know though, because for women,
you know how you get a really good photo.
Some men just post it though. Men don't do it like us. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you the truth. When you post a photo like that at the angles he has it posted at, where it's just like
he had some where he recorded his stuff when he was just talking to the mirror or dancing.
Like, who does that? Okay, listen. If you're 19, I get it. But like you're a grown ass man with kids.
Why am I advocating for this dude? This is
really
not
don't
what I
think
mean
those were first take photos. I think he spent hours taking photos and like, you know, you posting the one photo out of the 25 that
It's
you
the
just
way that
took.
he markets his business, man. I mean, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Well, I mean, listen, what kind of who is he selling? And that's my whole point right there. I read
That D.
He's in the meat market.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, but he definitely is out here in these streets giving up
Listen,
all of this. I would not be okay with my man posting photos like
I agree, but some people are. Some people are in full-on relationships with strippers, but
Ray Sweats
I
for
agree
sure,
with this.
Diddy.
Men are not good at taking pictures unless they're good at pictures, right? I get that. I get what you're saying too, Faith. I think that shows in the way that they upload their photos to dating profiles. I think it shows in some of the videos that they upload. I just don't think this dude took a whole bunch of selfies. I think that he knew exactly what angle he was setting up at.
I believe that it took him a few takes. I think if you look back through that man's phone, he had 300 pictures of himself like that, and he be thinking about the next one. And I believe that he be sitting in traffic thinking about the pictures he's gonna take.
Oh yeah, he definitely
like
does.
He's out there. He's thirst boxing.
He definitely does.
That he saved me. He's the only one that thought something of me, but that's not true. Stevie Wonder can see
you almost got eliminated 3 times, lady. Let's be real about that.
Okay, so Calvin. I know Calvin was like, why am I here?
Who is Calvin?
The one that had to go home with the family emergency.
I remember him. He must have got voted off day 2 or something.
Well, he had to go because his mom had a family emergency.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I didn't think Calvin was like, I didn't get to see enough of him to see how it was or whatever, but I just didn't think his person was there. I don't know. But I guess he looks okay. Not like that, but like,
yeah, but I don't know who he is.
They all look decent, but like, I didn't get to see enough of Calvin.
It's always odd that they have to stay there the whole day because it's like we don't even know who you are.
Hours and hours.
So I think they have a communication issue, and I think what the issue is that he doesn't understand big words.
I disagree. I think that it's because Katie be doing shit to get a rise out of him. Or people, period.
Maybe it's that he doesn't say, he understands her, but he just doesn't speak as quickly as she does. And I think that's frustrating for him.
That could be possible too, but anybody who does shit to get a rise out of people, that's irritating. Why are you doing that?
It is.
Just talk to me.
How did we come back to this? Because soon I left after that, and she called or texted me. I go, dang, this was love.
Wait, what? Yeah. That's what did it.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, they're definitely they were getting it in on the show. They had to be. This is a purely lustful based connection.
Well, you cannot tell me as a woman over 40 that y'all live in Miami and you on the show that y'all wasn't meeting outside of the production times and that nothing else was going on.
No, they were having. Oh, this is my take. They were having sex. And that almost the entire time, and that made it difficult for them to split ways because now sex is involved, and the sex was obviously good. They both like each other, and I think that was made it more difficult to be like, "Hey, this is a clean break. This isn't gonna work." Because now they're like trying to save something. When they were at the one of the last episodes, she was like, "I think we should just self-eliminate or something like that." It was like, "What are you saving? Like, what are you?"
He called her 2 weeks later, and they got together 2 weeks later because they've been all over Instagram with their relationship. But I don't think they are going to be able to do interviews though.
They just found a point.
But Miami is a melting pot, so there's more than just black women there. So I would not look at it in a strange way if the fact that he hasn't dated anybody black in the last 3 years because they have more. The population is set up different. You know what I'm saying?
It's not necessarily that black women have an issue with a black man dating outside his race. It is the exclusion of black women when you are a black man.
Now, if he actually said that.
Whoever you want to date, but if you say, "Oh, I'm not dating black women," and you're only dating this, that is the issue.
I mean, because I can say, I don't want to date men under 6 feet. I may go a stint without dating men under 50.
Yeah, or I mean, I'll even cut off a whole age group.
But I get it. I get it because people like what they like or whatever. But I don't know. I don't like when men say I date white women because black women this. I agree with what she said. Don't exclude us or don't put it on us as to the reason why you're doing it. Do it because you have your reasons why you like them. Like, don't even bring me into that. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, you know, I like Earl, but Demeter, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to include us when you say that you date another race. So I get that argument or whatever, but the way they edited this, we didn't get to see the whole conversation. And I feel like maybe they left something out for us. But to me, it was just like, you know, we've just come through a pandemic. You know, it's Miami. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I didn't hear him say that he only dates those women. I just heard him say that he hasn't in the last couple of years. So anyway, but I mean, like I said, we just came to a pandemic. I ain't really dated nobody in the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So, and what if he only dated 2 or 3 people? Like, that's not, like, what is the number is all I'm saying. Like, it's not like he ran through 100 women and none of them were black. If it was 2 or 3, then we can't really make a determination about that, in my opinion. But anyway.
I get it. I like you said, I would have needed to hear the entire conversation, but it didn't. I mean, I didn't like the way that she brought her friend into it, talking about you ask the questions that I can't ask or something like that, because it's just like, that's just game playing.
She did something to get a reaction, which I feel like that is immature.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, if it's a good question, then ask it. Like, ask it already.
Just talk like an adult. Like, we should be able to sit here and talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if we're boning, which I'm telling you that they were young. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that, but you know,
no, I think that some people were having sex. I think so. I mean, I've heard a couple of people say it. Well, I've heard one person say it and another person insinuate it. And I mean, I can see that it was going on. Just by the way certain people, like, I'm not going to be all the way invested as some people are if we hadn't gone that far. Like, once you go that far, like, it's a lot of women who be like, oh, I ain't gonna catch no feelings if I have sex with this dude. We just fucking whatever. They lying to themselves, but it's cool or whatever. But, you know, when you do that and then it turns the way that you didn't want it to turn, it goes another way. Like, some of the women that go through that can't handle it, and it shows in their outbursts. It shows in their action, and they don't see that you're just telling on yourself. We get it. You know what I'm saying? You gave it up.
Wild.
You shouldn't have gave it up. You gave it up. You shouldn't have gave it up. And now you feel some type of way, and this, you know, it's obvious. But
one of the things that was so odd to me was that when
Lazy is like, I'm gonna go 35. He's either between 36 or 33. He was one of the youngest dudes there, because that was the conversation that him and Shakira was having in the beginning. She was like, she don't like younger dudes, and she was 37.
So that was what him and Zoe's argument started off of, is him saying, like, if I were older, this wouldn't be a problem.
I think he was 32.
Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make any sense. And he was like, it does make sense. So I'm about to look right now on the there we go, on the link of what they say the cast members are. It says Swayze 33, and it says 33. That Kadian is, where is she on here?
Yeah, how old is Kadian?
I lived in West Palm.
I feel like she was older.
Where did you live in West Palm?
But yeah, it says it says she's 34, which
okay.
I believe it. He seems like, yeah, I guess he could be 33. She seems like she might be a little older than that, but she doesn't look.
Kadian?
Yeah, she was giving me like, I don't know why she was giving me older vibes, but I believe she's 34. I don't believe that Jamal is 33.
They play with these ages though, because like I said, last season or the season before last, they had Corey on as 40, and Corey's not 40 years old.
Yeah.
I am.
There's 3 women, Jamala, Shanika, and
Randall's brother was cute too.
The triangle
Did you see that episode with his brother? And
I did, but I can't remember what he looked like. I'm sure he was. I mean,
Randall and I just feel
look at Kayla's face.
I have a good feeling it's probably just him being genuine with me. And I really appreciate that. Come closer to me. Randall, I don't care about his other connections. My concern is,
I don't know.
what do you do with me? That's all I care about.
Oh my God. Oh.
that was a huge piece of steak.
See, I feel like they had good chemistry.
I did
You know
too.
what I'm saying? I think that he should not have picked Jamala because he ended up probably fucking that situation up. He should have picked Kayla, and she should have picked him because she had no business focusing on Mike. But in the end, it was all a blessing in disguise because Randall was tripping. I heard Randall was doing a lot.
But I don't know how strong our arm is.
Baby, come on, change. I like to say I'm not jealous, but
I gotta see this.
Get my stuff.
She was very odd. Kayla alluded to in one of her interviews, alluded to the idea that Jamala was standing up on the balcony.
She did.
Him on her, but the way that she walked in there to get her stuff was so petty.
Yeah.
It was like, we know you're not coming in here for your stuff. You didn't even take all your stuff. You just
Right.
want to barge in and be seen.
Right. I mean, because at that point, it was like, listen, we down to the wire. You really should have made a decision by the time you get to the getaway house because who wants to set themselves up for all that kind of stress? Like, I'm going to make sure that I'd have made my choice by then or not because you got to split your time between people.
And then all the time you're not with somebody, they're watching you.
The pressure was on, okay?
Sometimes you tend to rush into things and maybe you're moving too fast, right? When we deal with emotion, we can't do that.
Ooh.
Let me ask you this. Looking at this clip, you and Jamala in a heated discussion. Tell me about that. Jamala was just being Jamala and telling me exactly how she felt.
It was more of like a boundary for me.
What boundaries were crossed?
At that time, from what we discussed, it was his.
Her eye makeup looks good.
Kayla know, like, how he was going to
Yeah.
move in the process. So
I think they all look good, though.
While he and Kayla were having a conversation, you came in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Whose room was it? It's my room. My issue was that she burst in like that. I have an opportunity to do anything. As opposed to letting you handle it the way you want. Whatever happens, I need to be able to do that. You get what I'm saying?
He could have said in that moment, you know what? I want to take this house moment and explore these options. And I would have said, be great. Be great.
Kayla?
It's just hilarious.
On Kayla.
The game. Then why did you do the whole, I'm taking my stuff, I'm leaving this room, and do the whole, like, create that moment? Because he didn't do that. I just said he did not communicate that to me. You said, don't speak
She
on
wanted
me.
him to make a decision.
Don't even speak on me. Speak on Randall. I can speak on whatever I want, but don't you're going to deal with it. No. I'm not going to deal with nothing. Like I said,
I mean, somebody gonna fight next season. They tripping with this. How far this be going?
chasing him around and following him around and having a temper tantrum because he was connecting with his other connections. But that's not what she did. And she was like, oh, I'm about to do the process. And sweetie, I practiced a lot of restraint. And I showed you respect. I showed you I respected you even when we were in the winter. You know that he loved it like
Tranika? Tranika?
Ooh, we see a different side.
Randall. Okay, I gotta say this. Oh my god. Let me write this shit down because oh my god.
He is super uncomfortable.
As he fucking should be.
No, that's not cool.
This was the house. This was
No,
the
it
house.
wasn't. We did not argue about anything at the house.
This is all this Bama's fault because he did not communicate like he was supposed to. And I can't believe he's from DC and he don't know how to do this. He don't know how to. It's just
No,
simple
and normally you wouldn't
communication.
be able to see it.
It's simple communication though. Like if you tell people the truth up front, they have no choice but to take it or leave it. But if you leave anything in the balance, especially in this situation where you know all the women that you're about to talk to, you're trying to talk to, are coming together under the same roof, my nigga, this is your fault. This is your fault.
He's super uncomfortable, but I think he just wasn't built for this.
He set his own self up. I'm telling you.
Figuring it out.
What does the term "figuring it out" mean? Are we dating other people? We are dating other people. We are dating.
So Tina from last season also revealed on Cameshia's panel that he was in her DMs a couple of months ago, and she blocked him because she doesn't like liars. Those were her words, not mine. Allegedly.
These two ladies as well. Yeah, I've been out with them. With them. Let me ask you this, Kate. Where are you with your connection with Randall right now?
You know, just seeing what happens with it.
You gonna tell me y'all figured it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Has it strengthened since the journey?
Oh, for sure.
Well, listen, I wish all of y'all the best. And Randall, I hope figure the square.
Unless you kiss out of that. She's like, I'm straight. Dealing with that bull.
Yeah.
Me and Randall, we have an understanding. I jokingly tell Randall he likes to play in traffic. And I'm in the season where I'm playing in traffic too, baby. I just dated a whole bunch of men. But we're cool in everything. And that's that.
All right. Hope you figure out what is the best connection for you.
Well, he's still dating Kayla.
Coming up with put the spotlight on.
I don't know, because Kayla, obviously she can't say anything. I feel like she was dating somebody. I don't know.
They just said it right there that they're dating.
Well, like they went out on a date, but I'm talking about like today, present day. I don't know who she's dating.
Oh.
I feel like she said she may have mentioned that she was dating somebody and then she wasn't. I don't know. I don't really know. I got to go back over there and see because she can't really say a lot since the show is still like since after this, a lot of people will be talking. So those are the interviews to pay attention to because they can explain more about what they want us to see. But like, I just want them to understand. I get it. Y'all went on the show, you know everything that happened, and we don't. But we cannot constantly wonder. Well, I wonder what happened here. Like sometimes I do want to know what happened in the whole conversation, but I get where they're coming from and they're trying to plead their case, but you can't make us see your point. You know what I'm saying? Like
like it's not a part of the deal.
It's not. And I mean, but what they could do is they could express that in the interviews after. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I know it's going to be hard to not say anything and not engage and not try to correct people that are wrong, but that's kind of part of the whole process. The vloggers that review the show, they're helping promote the show. You know what I'm saying? We're watching the show and we're recapping and giving our own opinions, which is, you know, my opinion is sometimes different than your opinion or whatever. So you can't get lost in that. You have to kind of just sit back. You made the decision to go on the show and you just kind of got to sit back and just let it play out because they don't even know how it's going to be edited. You know what I'm saying?
Until they see it.
Yeah, so like just wait until everything is on the table. Then you come out and you say, well, listen, all y'all motherfuckers was wrong because this, that, and the third, or whatever. But when you do it throughout the season, it just kind of is like, it becomes blah, blah, blah at some point.
It's based on ego because all of these people, okay, look. I don't want to generalize and say, but all of these people came on here expecting to look a certain way, right? The portrayal that they put out there, they want people to see them that way. So they only have a problem.
Automatically picks up your flaws, like, and they're going to highlight anything that is out of character. Anyway, go ahead.
Or they're building these storylines based off of what you're saying and doing and how you look and what the storyline is, what interactions you're having. But like you kind of, like you said, got to let that go because nobody's going to paint you as you want it to be painted. This is not the Kardashians. You don't get to control the narrative. So for somebody to sit there and try to like combat every single little thing in somebody's opinion, it's like, that's not what this show is about. It's damn near not even about finding love, to be honest with you, because it's like the way that I'm looking at this and they come to the end and there has to be a choice and then they're dating after the thing. It like defeats the whole purpose. Like what was it kind of reminds me of the whole Frank and Mamine thing. It's like, what was the point in going through all of that just to come out and be like, oh, we're not dating. I haven't seen her since the thing. It's like, why did you even do that? So this is it's giving me the same vibes here because it's like, why did you pick Jamala if you're just going to go dating other people?
See, but that's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like I said, like whenever a TV show comes out, the producers have no idea how, like, what comments are going to come out or what kind of like perception is going to come out. They just know the story that they're writing. And so it's hard, I can see, for the people who are in it to let it go like that because they don't know. But it's like, you just got to let it play out because you joined something that has a script writer. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just let it go and then come back and say something at the very end because, like I said, after a while, it's blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, yeah, you don't like what the vloggers say and we have this wrong and we don't know what we're talking about, whatever. Listen, I'm just commenting on a TV show. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you guys.
Yeah, I don't know you like that. Anyone. And I was never coming to here to do that.
I don't dislike anyone. And, you know, I feel like I need to start doing more shows so people can just see, like, I'm just going to talk about everybody that I watch. Like, I'm not going to, I don't know you. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people do be going too far, though. You know, I do have compassion that the people are people, you know, but if it's something I disagree with, I don't have no problem with disagreeing with it. But y'all can't, you know, take it seriously. Like, because it's a lot of stuff that we, like, when you come and look at a situation about me, you might see something that I missed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's funny because we peeped what Mike was doing. I peeped what Sharice, how she felt about Zoe. Like, it's certain things that just kind of stand out. So you can't convince us that this is not the way it was, you know? But I find it funny that he was openly kissing Brandy, but he wasn't kissing.
It's so weird to me, their vibe, because it seems like he picked her off of safety. And I just don't see.
I would have been offended by that
connection. I mean, listen, I'm not the connection police, but I just don't get it.
But see, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that men say without saying, and if you don't say anything about it and you just go along with it, that's
those are strawberries. Oh my god,
those are the strawberries.
See,
I just put two and two together.
Goody.
I just put two and two together.
Wild. That's wild.
Okay, so listen. I just put two and two together, but here's the thing. Niggas do shit like that. Niggas do shit like that, though. Niggas do shit like that.
I know, which is why if you go back and look at her face when Dominica said the thing, like, you're dating my friend so-and-so who makes the strawberries, I felt like Brandy was like, oh, he introduced me to a lady that makes strawberries. Like, I think that's real. And maybe he's not dating her. Maybe he's just boning her. Like, I can stop saying boning.
I initially saw him.
Listen.
You're dating my friend. No, that's not what we're doing.
He is a fine black man, though. I got to give it to him. But, no.
And I want to be pursued. I want to be chosen.
He gives off street. I'm for the streets vibes.
I'm gonna be honest, man. When first attracted me was trying not to look at the lust, but she just got natural beauty. Just off the top, I've seen her without makeup. She looks literally the same. You know, I can tell she's a good-hearted person.
So why wear the makeup?
So when I found out, actually, she never really had like a steady relationship. So that kind of made me feel like, let me step in and show her how a real man's supposed to love and treat and stuff like that. So
see, no, that is a red flag to me, and
that
it's also a red flag that he said that let me step in. Like, no, that's like getting a virgin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
You can mold her to whatever. He knew that he could tell her to do or whatever.
He knew that she was gonna go for all the bullshit. Like, oh, you're new.
And he knew he wasn't gonna be able to get away with that shit on over Kayla. He knew that.
Yes. Oh, you're gonna go for all of the bullshit that I'm gonna.
Hey, Gwendolyn.
You don't even have anything compared to. You're not.
Sorry, Gwendolyn. You probably didn't get an alert because I got a community wall and I've already posted 3 times on the community wall, so I probably used up all my notifications. You only get like 3 a day. So, but welcome.
Yeah. Oh, that was medium shade.
We moved up real fast. Ooh,
I really hope that it doesn't blow up like it I feel like it's going to.
Okay. So
because it's like she gloating and trying to rub it in Kayla's face that he didn't choose her or
and
whatever.
She's sitting there saying like, I wanted to be chosen. I wanted to be put on a pedestal. And it's like, okay, so if he gives you that, you just go ignore everything else.
No, that was my first time hearing him say what he
Yeah,
said.
like a real.
He done already gave her the strawberries from the other girl he was messing with.
Like, I, for one, definitely came here ready to love.
What do you hope for you all future-wise?
I desire to be.
It definitely is gonna blow
I
up.
desire to be a mother. I want.
But surprisingly, the one thing I think that might work out is Justice and Looney. Like, I really think that he might have actually reflected. And Looney seems like she is his speed, so maybe that might work. I don't know.
I don't want to hate on their relationship. Yeah,
And the crazy thing, see, I'm not even gonna say that because that's not.
They kind of match a little bit.
So
That's wild. I feel like he get ready. Okay, so let me just be a hater real quick and just get it out. I feel like he's getting ready to run all the old game on her.
hold
all
on one
the
second.
new game that he's
Hold on
learning.
1 second. They said January. Okay. So we got a big break. Okay, go ahead. A big break until the next season starts.
I feel like he has opportunity and motive to run all the new game and all the old game on her, and she's going to be brand new to this, and she's just going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm getting what I wanted. It's kind of like a weird exchange where it's just like, she just sat there and said, like, I desire to be a wife. I desire to be a mother. She's never been in a relationship before. She kept saying self-admittedly, I feel like he admitted that he didn't choose Kayla for the reasons that
he was intimidated. He couldn't take her.
He was intimidated, and I feel like even his answer with the whole like, oh, I wanted to show her how relationship. Nah, that's some game. That's some TV game. So now
you're right.
Concerned because I feel like she should
for Brandy too, because
take whatever he dishes
out. Better. I feel like Brandy deserves better, and he basically said he picked the safest one, as Kayla said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like him and Kayla had some extra dealings. I don't know what those dealings were, but I did see the episode where Kayla got in her car. He walked into her car, and she was like, I'll be back after they leave. And I was like, who is they? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like they had extra dealings, or at least spent a lot of time together, because she said they were really getting to know each other or whatever. And I feel like all of this display at the reunion was probably not all the way 100. But I feel bad for Brandy, because it's like women who have seen a guy like this before in action are just kind of like, oh no, Brandy, no. Like,
yeah,
fine,
you have no idea
but
what
you gotta be able to say no to that, because that ain't nothing but regrets.
I'm telling you, now you're gonna have a good time now, Brandy, but you're also gonna have a couple of really bad times. And
he's selling pain down to the DM.
Gaslighting. He's gonna gaslight the shit out of her. Like, I'm just thinking about all the times that he's gonna lie to her, and she's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take his word for it. I'm sorry, it's not funny.
No, but like, that's
I'm thinking about all the things that she's gonna find and question her own sanity and her own like security, as far as like, am I tripping? All these conversations she's gonna be having with herself and her girlfriends and her mom.
And probably already started when they talk
like,
about the
strawberries.
Man,
was that the same strawberry lady that you used to give me those? Is that why you're always getting me strawberries? Right? Like, yeah. And you're not even. And here's the scary thing about it, is that she looks like she's so content and committed to like being the perfect girlfriend that's going to keep her distracted from like truth seeking at any level. So it's not even like she need to be all on his phone or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that like even the reason that he said for not choosing Kayla is a red flag. And absolutely. And his Instagram is a really big red flag. It's
he said, I wish a dude would say he picked me because he didn't have to fight others. Like, what? What are you talking about, sir? Like, I would have been totally offended by that. Like, I would have been too. I may not have had a visceral reaction, but I definitely would have been in my head like, oh, for real?
Oh, really?
Oh,
it's like you can only collect so many of those sorts of things that are borderline insults. But even the fact that she just sitting there like, oh, okay, it's cool. Like, just lets me know how, like, anyway,
terrible.
Listen, Now let me say, now that I hate it for a second, I wish them the best.
Terrible.
But yeah, that she's in for it. She's in for a lot of games.
We only got 3 likes. Can y'all like the video for me, please?
Oh yeah, everybody send us a like.
Also, check the description tab because I have another show that I do on relationship entertainment television. That link is in the description, and Faith's link, Yes, I'm a Unicorn, is also in the description. So you guys follow her as well. Like, share, and subscribe. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I think they're about to get to the preview in a minute.
All right, I gotta see this.
Would be good in the air. But I tried it. Come on, Looney.
Yeah.
I did like her braids.
Stuff like that. What'd you say?
I said I did like her braids.
Oh yeah, she's a cutie pie.
I hope that this trip is peaceful.
She said they thought she was psychic.
I mean, she seemed like she got some intuition with her.
I like to get down and dirty. I have that in me.
Yeah.
I'm a spicy brother, and I'm kinky too.
Okay. We're going to use the word kinky.
Oh.
That's the old man.
Samson.
That old man.
It is.
Like, kinky.
I don't want to hear
I
that
don't know.
about you.
Samson.
Her. That sounds weird. You said it was a roach. They was messing with him. Oh no, they might have been.
Justice is cute too. He just was arrogant.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's how he was just coming off or.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. I appreciate the fact that Gwendolyn always likes when she comes in here.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. Thank you, Goody.
Goody. I would not have lasted on this joint at all.
Yeah, at a certain point, I feel like I would have not been able to do certain things. Like, it's a lot going on. You're trying to date. You're trying not to look crazy on camera. You're trying not to get voted off. You're trying to keep your cool in front of these people who are doing weird stuff, being catty.
And then you don't know these motherfuckers. Get off.
Before we go, I want to hear some final thoughts.
Oh, so they like together. You're like, oh, man.
Shoot their shot.
Let's see what's
Here
happening.
we go. Cal. And Miss April.
Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't get to meet him because he left.
Y'all been communicating a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. We have each other's numbers, so
Go.
we'll see.
Joe. How about you, baby girl?
I just want to say that I definitely was invested with my main connection and willing to go all the way based on what we had built on.
Hey, Blondie Monique. Welcome. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Because we do our weekly sister talks every week, almost every week. And I have some other content also. But welcome.
She's kind of vindictive.
Who?
I've been watching out tonight.
Who?
I'm done with it. I'm good.
Jamal.
Oh.
Anybody else? Any final thoughts?
I really hope that
That's what happens,
after this
though.
experience that we all can find like better ways to communicate. I really want for us as Black people to do better when it comes to that. And I really want for us to really represent Black excellence and just do better in the future.
Well said. All right, y'all. That is all of our time. I appreciate each and every one of you all.
I don't understand why she got emotional, but I didn't really understand. I get what she just said. I didn't really understand why she got emotional, but I do understand that when you're a part of the cast, whatever one of you does or a couple of you does, you kind of get the brunt of it. Okay, I'm going to shut up for the preview.
Still out there. And I wish you the best on finding it and good luck. All right, I'm your boy. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, I'm Tommy Miles.
So is he dating Kayla like, as they just said here?
I guess
Like,
we're going
is
to
it an
find out
ongoing
what's
thing?
happening now once they start doing interviews because they can talk now.
Yeah, now it's going to get
I just
juicy.
love Jamala sitting on the couch like that. Like, I saw that.
when you were in that, you know, it was so funny when you did that panel and Kayla was there and you said something like, because he's right there. Like, you were like, somebody was like, what do you keep looking over at? And she was like, there's a dude that he's right there, whatever. Everybody laughed. I thought it was so funny because I was like, it would be really interesting if it was one of the cast members.
See,
you know
she
what
has,
I'm saying?
so she, when she does her lives, like yesterday she did a live, I think it was yesterday, and she was like, she put us on, like, she did like this or whatever, right? She was like, hold on, y'all got mind your business or whatever, right? And I feel like there is somebody that's been in her life, but I just don't know who. I imagine that maybe her and Randall got together because I feel like that would make a cute couple, but they couldn't say anything. So I guess tonight, when everybody's Instagram start going Instagram live and doing whatever they're doing, or in the next few days when they start doing their interviews or whatever, that they will actually be able to talk freely now. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I can't wait to see what's coming.
That's got to be really hard too, to like keep the other stuff under wraps. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I don't think that Katie and Swayze are going to be able to do interviews because they just said fuck it and just started posting themselves. So
yeah,
he went out with Kayla. Wasn't he following that old girl from last season, Tina? Yes, Tina dropped that on Cameshia panel that he was in her DMs and she blocked him because she don't like liars. So that says a lot to me. Randall out here making DC look bad, man.
Look, you know what? He got to just get down however he get down. He seems so innocent. It just seems like he just doesn't understand the game.
No, he does not seem innocent. He's playing that laid back, nonchalant, I'm from DC, chill kind of dude. That's what he's playing. But at the same time, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing because a real nigga would have made sure that the women that were going to be under the same roof had an understanding so that he would not be stressed out during this 3-day getaway. Because who would put themselves in a house under the same roof with three people that they're trying to talk to and not have an understanding established?
I'll tell you who does that. Someone who doesn't understand the game. I think that he's mad, like naive. He's one of those people who hopes that shit don't go down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna see what happens.
But that's like, because a lot of women react off of what they're perceiving that the guy's putting down instead of being direct. But a lot of guys don't have to be direct because most women will not ask those questions. They won't ask the right questions. She was waiting. Jamala was waiting for him to say, look, it's you, and I'm going to shun all these other girls or whatever. But he wasn't ready to do that. And
he wasn't like that. I don't even feel like he was down for that anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. He was showing that. But she wasn't.
Was he, or was she trying to drip that out of him? I feel like she was trying to pull that out of him so hard, and she was so
what it was.
Yeah, sure.
I think what it was in a couple of cases is that they were listening to the guy's words versus matching up his words and actions. Because
some of that's on the. All right, so I'm putting some of that on Jamala because she was asking. She's putting it out there like, do you think you could have loved me? Do you think you could love me? Do you think you could be in love with me? I mean, what's the right answer to that? Like, what if he was really wanting to say no?
The cameras are rolling. You've asked me. The cameras are rolling. You've asked me this question. What should I say? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I got that he was feeling like. Why would I say?
Yeah, sure.
But he did have other situations where he told Kayla, "I'm not picking you." You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have a problem giving difficult statements to people. I just feel like he should have thought more through that before they got to the getaway. If you go to the getaway,
he told Kayla, "I'm not picking you, but we can date after this." Basically, I mean, he didn't say that on camera, but I'm just saying.
Like, okay, but here's the thing though, like for real, in real life, right? Whatever happens, just like right now. I could go out right now and have a date with somebody and be like, it didn't go well or whatever. 3 months later, the person could try to revisit the situation, right? And it's up to me to decide whether I want to do it. So that's my point in saying, like, it doesn't matter that they got cut off the show. They can still work on a connection whenever they want to. But the Ready to Love thing is like a franchise at this point. And so, even though they didn't find love on this season, there are going to be, opportunities for them to meet other cast members from different seasons. You know what I mean? So that's a plus too or whatever. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to no 3-day getaway where 3 of my connections are there and we haven't established an understanding. I'm sorry, like you're not about to be stressing me out. I'm going to do me. This is how it's going to be. Like I'm not gonna. That's craziness.
It strikes me though that he probably.
If I was a dude, I definitely wouldn't do that.
People are assuming that they can get away with it. Like, oh, I don't have to say anything. I don't have to set any boundaries. I don't have to make any statements. Like, we're just gonna see what happens, and nobody's gonna get in there. Nobody's gonna get.
Well, if it works in real life. Right, because in real life, you're
because he would never have them all together.
I can tell you whatever I want to tell you, and him and him and him. Y'all are not going to be under one roof talking, and that's the whole caveat for this show. But you know what the show's about, so you have to like accept the fact that those people are going to talk, and you need to come up with a new game plan different than what you do in the real world because. You will end up looking like Randall. In
hindsight is 2020. But if he would have just not went there with Jamala and basically been like, "I'm not sure. Yes, we have a strong connection, but I'm not telling you. Yes, I'm gonna fall in love with you." Because I'm sure she heard that a whole different way.
That causes problems, though. That causes problems.
But she asked him that. She asked him like, "Do you think you could be falling in love with me? Do you think you would be falling in love with me?" And he was like, "Oh, sure." And she heard
that question.
I'm in love with you.
But I'm pretty sure he already knew that she would ask a question like that based on the time that they were spending. He knew that she wasn't really dating nobody else.
He should have said to her, but I'm sure he, who knows what happened behind the scenes, but it would have behooved him to say, like, I'm not sure. And he may have said that for a time and then just gotten exhausted because it seemed like she's that kind of lady who's just going to ask you every day until she hears.
But the thing I keep going back to is that dudes really don't like to have to hurt somebody's feelings, even if they're assholes. Like, they don't want to come out.
End up here.
But I mean, they don't want to. But see, that's what I'm saying. They're not thinking about that far. They just thinking, I don't want to have to say no. I'm not feeling you. You should be able to pick up the fact that I'm not really feeling you like that. And then when you don't pick it up, now you stepped into the territory of being told, like, Kayla, I'm not picking you, when the writing was on the wall that he wasn't picking her already. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's just the miscommunication of men and women, because men can be direct, but in certain situations, they don't feel like they have to be direct. And so that's where the problem comes in, because we aren't always like quick to be like, oh, okay, well, he didn't do this, so whatever. Now, okay, I'm not going to say that because I do, but I get told that I cut people off too quick. You know what I'm saying? And mostly by women, because we're used to kind of like finishing the sentence, I guess, or like filling in the blank when a blank don't need to be filled in. And sometimes it's just like, oh, he's not calling you and he's not checking for you, then there's your answer. But most people be like, well, let me text him. And sometimes it is that, like, they want you to text them, but sometimes it's a lot of stuff that they're not saying that ends up, when you look back on it, you be like, damn, I should have looked at that. I should have paid attention to that. Like, it's not going to always be the dude saying, listen, I'm not picking you. You know what I'm saying? Randall did not say that shit until he felt like he was forced to have to say it. Yeah.
And I wondered what the questions were before. I wonder how the conversation was going for him to say it so clearly like that, because it was like obvious to me that he was answering a specific question. Like, I think he had exhausted the back and forth. And Kayla seems like a person who's asking very, specific questions. She's not leaving it out there like Jamala, like, do you think about one day maybe you might love me? Like,
and when you get to that point, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? The Plainest Jade said, yeah, we be making excuses for the men unnecessarily, giving them too many chances. She said that in her Baltimore voice.
Too many chances.
Like, too many. That's really what it is. And in this show, I love Ready to Love. I love the show. My favorite episode, my favorite seasons was the first season and the season they did the resort because everybody was in one place at the same time. So it wasn't no going home and doing whatever. But the show has turned into portraying the women. The women come in and it looks like they have the pick of the litter, but then at the end it's them trying to be picked. And I don't like that because
I don't like that either.
Because what's happening in reality is 9 times out of 10, I said this before, 9 times out of 10, if I go outside and I see 10 dudes right now, the chances of me being attracted to all 10 are slim to none. You know what I'm saying? I might like 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? And so when you go into a situation like this, somebody else picked these men, none of them may be their type. So they basically have to make a decision when they first get there to be like, when they first get there and see who's there, they make a decision to be like, all right, we're going to try to make this work. So you're already, if you're not initially attracted to anybody and you pick the option to be like, okay, well, let me see what works, you already settling. And now that's a whole nother dynamic because like when somebody treats you like Zoe treated Charisse when he, yelled at her or whatever, it hurt her feelings because she wasn't even really feeling this dude. Now you done try to carry me on TV? What?
Yeah.
So
I have a
whole lot of problems.
I have a question for you. I had to go back and look at last season to see. I remember who Tina was, but I'm just trying to remember some of the
with Paul. The one that had the
yeah.
situation with Paul and
she did show up to the cabin. Here's my question.
She was there though. See, that's how they edited. She was actually there, but she was in another they had like 2 properties on the property, I think. But there was a whole bunch of stories behind that. She was saying that they kept her away from the cast. The cast didn't know she was there, or maybe they did and they were just going on whatever they was doing. But they were saying that
Who said that? Is she the only person who said that?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna rehash all of that. It was a whole bunch.
She actually just didn't hit me as the most truthful person. But anyway, that's fine. I'm not calling the lady a liar.
I don't know. I fucked with her because she actually seems like a really genuine person, and then I was able to see how everything kind of played out or whatever. So I do fuck with her. But I don't know what the truth was as far as like where she was or anything like that because they edited it like she wasn't there, but she said she was there the whole time. But somebody else said that she was there too because I feel like Paul said that he followed the people with the food to another place in the house or somewhere, and Tina was in there. So.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
All right. So let me ask you this.
If they be tricking us, you know what I'm saying, pulling the wool over our eyes.
Yeah, and I just didn't understand what the point of that would be. If she's leaving her son to come up there and not be with the cast members, it's just like, who would do that and why? And was it to cause drama? But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I was going to ask you is I was going to throw you a curveball question. Oh, wait, who's this comment? Let me see.
Blondie Monique.
Randall explains it all on Crystal's XO show Monday. He said he was into Jamala from the beginning, and he showed that more than Jamala did at first. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. We have to watch the other interviews to see.
I can understand that. I couldn't see that on screen.
Now, Crystal XO she does a bunch of she does all of the own interviews afterwards. So you can search her up and see some people's interviews if you want to.
Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think this season would have benefited from what they did in the last couple of seasons, which is introducing people into the season? Remember how Donovan and Christina came in later, and the other guy who got kicked off, the chef, Sean, was it
Eric? Sean got kicked off. Yeah, Sean got kicked off.
Sean got kicked off, but that was a whole.
He was one of the curveballs. Yeah.
So I'm asking you, with this cast, do you think that it would have been a good situation for that to happen, or do you like the fact that they kept it out?
So people was complaining about the curveballs because they were like, they didn't have enough time. But Sydney actually did good as a curveball, whatever. But I don't think so because I think that the thing that they need to change, in my opinion, is in the beginning, the very first mixer that they have, they need to make it a point to get all of the people in front of each other so that everybody can have a little bit of maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I feel like they need to do a couple of speed dating events in the first couple of episodes, not episodes, but events. They don't even have to show us all of it, but in order to make sure that all of the single women get in front of the single men for at least a few minutes to see if there's a vibe, I feel like that would be better throughout versus what they're doing now. Because Charisse, I don't even think Charisse didn't go out on a date with somebody. It might have been Justice, but it's like, what was the reason for that? If y'all are gonna say that this is Ready to Love and everybody has to follow the process, then why would y'all make sure that everybody gets in front of everybody? You know what I mean?
It's just like the same old, like you're just not even going to give somebody a try because what are you looking for your type? Or, you know, that doesn't make any sense to me. It should be where everybody, even people who you wouldn't normally date, you should date them to see, like,
that's because that's the point, right?
That
like
would be the point to me.
Outside
like,
of the box.
Mm-hmm.
You already let some other people pick the people who are your prospects.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. I should follow through with one more step. We're going to do this mixer, but we're going to do the first 2 hours in a or whatever. It doesn't even have to be the first 2 hours, but it could be like, okay, now it's time for the speed dating portion, and you could take an hour or two to let them cycle through each other. Why not? If they're going to be there for 14 hours anyway, like why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, how could you not get to meet everybody in the room when you're there all day, unless you just like hold up in a conversation for like 2 or 3 hours with the same people?
Right. It's like they kind of let them have a free fall and be like, okay, well, everybody go. And then
Which
they
is
want people
odd.
to, like,
You're right.
interrupt
Like,
conversations and do shit that they wouldn't do on a regular, you know, in a regular situation or whatever. And so it kind of leans towards OWN is not really trying to find them love. They just trying to make a show.
It's becoming super odd the way they're having people pick people at the end. Only because it's like, what if you didn't get there? What if you're not finished yet? It's like somebody taking your plate before you're ready. It's just like, I'm not finished, right? Like, it's like, oh, you should be at this point by now. Like, I do think that after you date somebody for a few weeks, you know whether you're feeling them or not, but maybe you're not at the point where you're ready to claim them or you're ready to choose them exclusively. Maybe you just need to, you know what I'm saying? And then I do think that would be the chance for you to switch things up and be like, okay, let's just see. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing that's really weird to me. It's like when people are like, okay, I'm not going to say it's weird because in Clifton and Joy's case, I saw it. I got it. Like they belong. I felt like they belong.
We all saw that. Like, yeah.
But in most cases though, and I've only been watching this for like maybe the past 3 seasons, it's like you don't really see that every day. So it does make sense to me that you wouldn't be so like from day one committed. Like Jamala and Randall are the perfect point. It's like there was not really, like, maybe you guys had chemistry, but obviously
but the way they edited it, I saw Kayla and his chemistry first, and then it was like, oh, he feeling Jamala like that? I didn't really see it like that, like you said. But you need to go back and watch the first season, the very first season. You need to go back and watch that. You will love it. And when everybody loves Mike Bless, and I know you've probably seen Mike Bless before, but you might not know who I'm talking about right now. But Mike and Shay, you can see they're attracted to, and Mike's an Aries too. So I fucks with Mike. But then also after you watch that, watch season 3, which was The Resort. I think that was season 3.
Okay, I've heard so
that
much.
Was good too. That was good too. So season 1 and season 3, I feel like deserves a repeat watch or a watch if you have time to catch up on it or whatever. But the next season doesn't start until January, so you have time to look at those if you want to see how different. Maybe we should talk about that too. How the show has changed, because I fell in love with the show from season 1 with that first season, and then I continued to watch, and then I loved The Resort. But now in this last 3 seasons, it's like, where are y'all trying to go?
What are y'all doing? Yeah, I'm so confused.
Because if you're editing the film, I understand you gotta tell a story. But if you're, purposely leaving stuff out to make the audience think stuff about people, and then they have to come on an interview at the end and to say that it didn't happen like that, it's like, why would you do that? Are you really trying to find love, or are you just trying to get ratings? That's the question that I'm having now at the end of this. But if you watch season 1 and season 3, it was so much better. Like, the connections were so much better. But Blondie Monique says, Randall also said that Kayla knew he wasn't choosing her when they were at the house. So I feel like that I don't know. that I felt like he was going to pick Kayla, but I feel like he was not being straightforward with Jamala.
Yeah, if
Because
she
if
knew
he
that,
was, Jamala wouldn't have still been asking the questions that she was asking. And so my point of that saying what I said was that, you know, he just needed to have an understanding. He said that, but Randall might be a liar, y'all.
Or he just might be clueless. Because here's my thing: if she knew that you guys, if he wasn't gonna pick her at the thing, then why did you have to say it so bluntly like that at the dinner you were at? And he was not giving that vibe.
I don't know. I'm being biased because Randall's from here, and I feel like, you know, I know the type of dudes that are here, and I didn't want to think that about Randall. But if he is around here lying,
he was out with Trinika, and Trinika thought that she was still going to get picked, and he voted her off mad early. So if you weren't, here's my question: you're over here entertaining Trinika, right? So this is his lie caught right now. I'm about to explain it to you. If Kayla knew that he wasn't going to, if Kayla knew that he wasn't going to pick her, why did he say before he eliminated Trinika that he was just so unclear, right? Like, oh, I'm just so confused, because you were clear enough to vote
yeah,
Trinika off.
He continuously said, I got it's getting hard. I'm the most stressed out one here. I got 3 connections.
And then he went and made it a point to go and take Kayla out after that. So that's not true. Because if you were so torn and confused, but you were clear enough to vote Trinika off, then that means that you were torn and confused between who? So at that point,
then the other element,
you shouldn't have been torn and confused.
The other element is that production does direct them to do certain things, and that's what fucks it up as well, which is why I also want to double down on the fact that they don't need to say shit during the season. They need to wait until it plays out, because you don't know how production is going to play you. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you're going along with it. Like, I'm not saying I don't know what their contract is or nothing like that. But if you're going along with production and you're doing these unnatural things that production just happened to tell you to do, and then you're out here on the backside trying to defend yourself, why even go through with the thing that production asked you to do?
Right.
Like, oh, I'm not really a clown. I just have the hat and the nose.
Just play one on TV.
What? Oh, yeah.
He said, Blondie Monique says, he said he and Trinika hit it off at the house, but it was too late. You mean the house where she gave him the
foot massage or whatever, the sound bath thing? I think that's what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
But then immediately after that, Trinika was eliminated. So it's just like, and he was the one to give her the news. So it's like, I don't know. And I also don't know all that goes into the eliminations, because it's not like one person can save a person necessarily, unless they have built up such an alliance with the guys or the girls.
Except for the Sharice situation, when Tommy gave her the power to tell Samson that he wasn't ready to love.
Well, nobody else had a connection with Samson's, so I don't think, if I recall correctly.
Well, no, I mean, like, he don't usually tell the people that they can make the decision on the spot. He told her that she can decide on the spot if he wasn't ready to love.
So that probably lets you know a little bit. Okay, so now I'm reaching.
It was up to her.
But I wonder if Tommy was getting fake vibes from Samson, because he's just sat there and told Justice, like, I've talked to you and I think you're a good dude. He didn't say that to Samson. I think Samson is psychotic, people. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. I don't think that he's a killer or anything like that, but I think he's got so many ulterior motives. It's like, what are you doing? What are you actually here for? Like, why are you even here? Like, what are you?
And that's the crazy thing, because I liked him at first. So he made the comment about, you know, I don't want to pursue a woman unless she's pursuing me first, right? That kind of came off as confusing. Like, wait, do you want a woman to pursue you, or are you saying you just want the woman to show interest before you pursue her? So he clarified that in another episode, and when he was on Sabrina's panel, I was like, okay, he didn't mean it like that or whatever. But, you know, there's those dudes that are really good at surface conversation. They can have a conversation with anybody. They're pleasant. They're a good +1, right?
Yeah.
That's what Samson strikes me as. He's a good person to take to any event. He will, you know, work the room, and everybody will, you know, feel warm and fuzzy about their interaction, but you don't know if it's real or not, because he does have this element where it seems like he's just kind of I don't even want to say acting, but because I don't think he's being completely not himself. I think that is him. He's been doing it so long that that's him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then when his ex was on there, it was interesting that they never asked her why they broke up. I didn't get that. Did they ask her that?
No, but no.
She was. It showed that she had a ring on, so she was in another relationship. But I never got that why. But anyway, like I said, he just seems like the really a smoozy dude, like the dude that you could take to all of the office parties. You could take him to your little political events or whatever. But he got the gift of gab.
Yeah, but this doesn't make any sense as to why he would even like what his motive was for being there. It's like he wanted. Yeah,
so you go on the show. Okay, so you don't meet anybody. Like I said, if I go outside right now, I'm not gonna find the next 10 dudes that I see in succession attractive. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is gonna be like just a dude that I'm just passing by. How you doing? Thank you for holding the door. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, so none of them knew who was gonna be there. Now, when they got there, I'm pretty sure Justice was thinking in his mind, by the way that he was acting, this is all I'm getting from what he did on TV. He's around a lot of women on a regular basis in the job that he does. So I feel like he was like, okay, I'm doing y'all a favor by being here. Like, I'm going to make my appearance. I'm going to promote myself. You know what I'm saying? And so like I said, I think that if anybody's on a TV show, they should promote their business, whatever they're doing. But sometimes it's like, like TV not focuses, but it reveals your flaws. Like, even if you don't want it to, it highlights, how you look. It highlights, things you're doing with your makeup. It highlights, awkward angles of your head or whatever, right? And so, like, you're not gonna like the way that, just like you don't like listening to yourself back on a voice recording. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh! Oh, it sounds so odd.
But like, this is the thing: if you just go and be yourself, then you ain't gotta worry about that. But if you try to go and portray a persona that you're really not, and you think, oh, this is how I want to look on TV. No,
that's when you look crazy. That's when you look psychotic. Because now it's like, what are you doing? Who are you? What is this? You know what I mean? Like, I think, okay, case in point, I feel like Looney and Trinika were two people who were themselves. And so, and no matter whether that got them voted off ultimately or not, I feel like I got a really good, clear picture of both of them. Like, I could be wrong, but it seems like both of them were just themselves through and through, and you got to see like different sides of them. But
what did you say?
I was just saying Trinika and Looney were two good examples of people who I felt like were just themselves. Right, I could even say that for Katie, and even though she had some moments,
I feel like that Katie was being herself. I feel like
she had some unfavorable moments, but I feel like she was being, herself. But
Blondie Monique says Randall talks about all of that on Crystal XO's. He really breaks it down. He talked about why he and Jamala are at odds, and that he did go out with other ladies afterwards, but just hanging out. Okay.
I gotta look at that.
I gotta watch that interview because I always like to support anybody who from DC. I support them. But if you on some bullshit, I am going to call you out on the bullshit. So if I watch this video and Randall was on some bullshit, in my next video that I'll talk about Ready to Love, whatever that is, I'm gonna call Randall out on his bullshit. He cannot be like I said, I just don't feel like any excuse for you to know that you're about to go on a getaway and you not complete the understanding. I don't feel like he completed the understanding. He could have told Kayla whatever. He could have told Jamala whatever, but he did not make it clear where he stood, because those ladies would not have been asking him what his decision was had he done that. Jamala was asking him, and so was Kayla. Trinika, I don't even remember if she was asking him outright or not, but it's already enough that Jamala and Kayla were trying to figure out what he was doing.
And you know what's funny? I don't feel like Kayla was asking Mike that. Even though she was...
So I don't feel like Kayla was asking Mike that, because it was kind of the way that they edited it,
I don't know that it was
his
clear.
first choice was one, and she said a couple of times we're each other's second choice.
Oh, okay.
But Mike was spending more time with Kayla than Randall was. So Randall,
it's interesting to me. So he obviously was doing this all wrong.
See, but then the other thing is like, okay, I do want to say this too. Nobody's fucking perfect. I don't know how I would go through that situation.
For sure.
But I do know that what I do know is that I'm not going to go into the getaway episode with nobody knowing what the fuck is going on.
Without having an understanding.
I want to chill. I want to sip. I want to have fun. So I'm not going to have all y'all fucking follow me around. Fuck that.
Yeah. But we're here to have fun. I'm going to be in the room with her sometimes. I'm going to hang out with these people. I'm going to be chilling. He obviously did not lay that groundwork.
He didn't. And they were asking him. And so that's what tells us that. But my point is, I don't think that anybody's perfect. We don't know how we will react in these situations.
Sure.
And so it's nothing personal against anybody. It's just how the whole thing ended up and how it came off. A lot of the things that we were saying or that people were pointing out, it ended up happening. So how can you really be mad at the people for reviewing what they saw when it really played out like that? So
no, that's going to get old. Like, I think people they'll understand after this round of I mean, it looks like a fun group as far as like the Ready to Love cast alumni. It seems like they intermingle, they have a good time, they go out with other cast members from other shows, and I think it's a really cool thing that they have going on, which is why I did understand Kayla's comment at the end about hopefully in the future we can be more respectful to people, because it's like, look, man, we weren't. This is not like Cinderella and Prince Charming. We're on a reality show.
And if you think about it, Kayla she wasn't disrespectful on this show. She was very respectful. She may have had her little shady and messy moments, but she wasn't disrespecting anybody. And so I feel her on that. I think that the best thing about this to me is that I've found some entrepreneurs from the last seasons. I promoted Sabrina. Sean has a show and he has seasonings, he has books. Corey has his fitness thing, from DC season 1 or whatever. And the thing that I like is that it's a lot of Black people that are actually doing stuff. Sharice has her own esthetician company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really dope.
Wrong, but there's a lot of businesses that they have that they're doing. Kayla is doing something, and I can't remember the name of her business, but Kayla has a channel as well. Y'all probably already know that, Kayla.com, 2 T's. But she's doing some other stuff. And I've also saw, like I said in my other video, I saw her on some other channels where she is more herself. Not that she wasn't herself on the show, but she was able to be more candid on these other channels that I've seen her on. And Kayla's smart. So that's the one thing that I can say about that. They do get people who have talent. They get people who are doing big things. They get people who are successful in their field, right? And so I do appreciate that, but I just wish that they would do a better job in giving the people a chance. If you really want to do this experiment justice, like that was I guess no pun intended. If you really want to do the experiment justice, give them a couple of speed dating events so that everybody can get in front of everybody and really see what's up. You know what I'm saying? But I really want OWN to do a show with the lost footage, because all the hours that they filmed and all the shit that they left out, we need to see what's going on.
Yeah, I would say the same. I really would like to see that. And I mean, we may never see the lost Ready to Love files, but it would definitely be something I'll be interested in.
They probably burn them after every episode.
You wow.
But anyway, so that's the end of the season. Now we have a break until January 2023. So we're going to have to find something else to watch, something else to talk about, which there are a lot of things for us to talk about. Some craziness going on, but this is about Ready to Love, so we're not going to go into those things right now. But do you have any last words or anything you want to say to the peoples?
I appreciate once again these these wonderful Black people just opening up to their lives for us to be entertained. I think that's a good point, Blondie. I don't think anybody should go home the first week either, because we're all getting to know them, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Especially since they don't let everybody get in front of everybody. Like, how are you sitting?
Yeah, like how are you going home and you didn't even date most of the people? But anyway, okay, here's my last final thoughts. I think that as usual, I am glad to see Black people on TV doing fun things, showing a different side to us. And I was entertained. This was not the most entertaining season, but I mean, I just found myself a lot of times just perplexed. Like, why did they do that? Or why did they say that? Or what's happening here? But, this is a very attractive cast. And I think that they started some really good conversations off, like as far as like the things that were happening on their show, started some really good conversations for us on social media. And I thought that was fun. I'm grateful to them for opening up their lives and giving us a little piece of them that we could be entertained and we would, find ourselves here. I wish them all the best. Obviously, we're not going to get a really good picture of each individual person because that's not what the show is about. But I will be watching these post-round interviews. I think that it's going to be interesting to see sort of some of the things I was perplexed about be explained. So that's really all I have to say. I have nothing but love for all of these people. Even if certain people weren't my cup of tea, I still am like interested in what they have to say. And, there's never any beef or bad blood. I say what I say just because it's on my mind. So, there's that. That's my disclaimer.
And if you want to have a conversation, feel free to drop in the comments and let us know that you want to have
Absolutely.
But I agree with everything that you said. I love the show. I feel like this was an attractive cast. I feel like OWN does do a good job at finding Black excellence, even though it doesn't turn into Black lovely excellence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't have that many couples, but Rashid and Simone from a previous season, they are getting married. They just got engaged. I think Mario and Reva are still together. And
I got to go back and watch these.
You have to watch season 1 because that's
I will trust and
grabbed me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh yeah. But I really do, like you said, it's no personal attacks against anybody. We just speak our opinion over here, and we welcome everybody to speak their opinion. No offense taken. But big kudos to the people who do go on the show because it has to be terribly hard to do this in front of the world and to know that you're going to get critiqued by everybody, and everybody isn't as nice as us. You know what I'm saying? Some people out here be wilding. They be just going way out when they're talking about these people as if these people aren't people. And I do get that's a problem. But with people that are doing regular commentary, just let those people be and just wait until the end so that we can all see what happens. And then, have a bomb-ass interview, have a bomb-ass post interview because I don't like when they be talking during the season because it's like, okay, well, by the time we get to the end, we don't really need to see your interview if you've already been talking all season. But I did like the fact that Kayla was doing like reviews because whenever somebody has been on the show, like Sabrina Soul, they do a really great job in pointing certain things out that the regular viewers aren't looking at. So anyway, I appreciate you all for watching and coming along with us while we were talking over the show and all of that. I appreciate y'all in the comments for participating. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be back next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to have some interesting topics because I sent my sister some earlier that were.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to talk about next week. And I'm sure some madness is going to happen this week that we'll be reporting out on next week, but we already have a whole slew of topics that we need to cover next week. So
and it's only Friday, so who knows what Kanye is going to do over the weekend?
Who knows what Kanye is going to do over the weekend? And Elon Musk. Let's see what happens. Let's hope they have a party. Let's get them together in a room and see what happens.
Did you see that he carried a sink into the headquarters?
I did. That was
what did he do with it? Was he just
saying, I own Twitter. Let that sink in. That's so corny. I mean, whatever. He's a genius. I do think that he could do something crazy with Twitter.
Look, when you got that much money that they have They can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
It's a ready-made name, so he could really turn it into whatever he wants, and people are watching him. So
why doesn't somebody black buy it from him?
If he could start baking cookies at Twitter, and it would be Twitter cookies.
Blondie Monique, thank you very much for coming through. I'm glad you enjoyed us. Definitely make sure you subscribe so you can come back and join us.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already, and make sure you subscribe.
Yes, and Face link is in the description. I put her link tree in there. Definitely make sure you check her out. I also put my sister's. Okay, I forgot to say this. If y'all don't watch Cameshia Reviews has one last Ready to Love panel for this season coming on tomorrow. Make sure y'all are there in the building because the old cast is there. Some of the new cast is there. And who knows what's going to come out tomorrow. Let me just make sure she's doing it tomorrow, not tonight. Because sometimes she does it the night of. Let me just make sure because this might be one of the nights that she decided to do it now. Okay, so it says upcoming in 15 hours. Okay, so tomorrow, Cameshia Reviews is going to do a live panel review. You know, she has some great content creators over there, and there's going to be new cast and old cast. Who knows who might come through since the reunion has aired. People can speak freely now, I believe that they can speak freely after the reunion. So definitely be over there. In my description, all of my mentee sisters are in there as well. So definitely follow Goody Gabor, follow Dina, aka Christina Moore, Confessions of a Reality Queen, Maud, Afro Mama, and more. It's all in the description. Love you guys. Thank you for sticking around for our shenanigans, and we'll see you guys in the next video.